don't know why I'm saying so many diseases. Sorry about that.
I didn't know I was saying so many diseases. Sorry about that. It's T for tuberculosis, H for hepatitis, A for angina. Angina. When your heart hurts a lot. N for, wait, no, that's not how you spell it. L for leprosy. E for endometriosis. N for endometriosis. N for nephritis. Sorry, that was confusing. Oh, my last name. Oh, actually, I haven't come up with one yet, so don't ask. I'm very good at coming up with names on the spot, as we've established, so. If you make me come up with Thalen's last name on the spot, we're gonna have problems. Brown.
Let me think of one right now.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
Moxley.
Moxley?
Thalen Moxley.
That's it now. I'm down with Thalen Moxley. It's like
cool.
Appropriately doofy for him.
Thalen Moxley. Thalen and Galen Moxley.
Thalen Moxley. I know, it's sort of a mouthful. Moxley. Okay, it's easy to say as Lucian.
Moxley.
I was like, if it's hard to say as Lucian, we can't do it.
I feel like that's a solid
I'm
name.
I'm down with that. M as in melanoma. O as in... What disease starts with an O? Oh, no, you have a disease. X as in xenophobia. It's a cultural disease. Disease of the, you know, the mind. X. Ray, I guess.
I have to say, I don't really know what any of those are, so...
Oh, Lucian might...
know.
Oh, sorry.
You're right, he would know what those are.
We'll find
and he
him.
would tell me how to
He
spell
can tell
them.
you all about them when we find him. Yes, hello, yes. I'd like to make a payment on my health insurance, yes. Sorry about that. Do you want to just start?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Hi, welcome back to Nat2.
We're just
Naturally.
We're riffing off of a TikTok.
Yep. The land of TikToks. It's raining. It's
Man!
It's raining, man! And no more, because...
Well, yeah. Because we're too good.
My plant is oddly wet. I have a plant that sits next to me in this space that we record. It's a money
I have
tree.
a name. Okay. It's Money Tree. That's my name.
Call me Money Tree.
Yeah.
And it's like wet for some reason. All the leaves
Call
are
me
like...
Money Tree because I'm wet for some reason. Because
Okay.
Why would it be wet?
I don't know.
It's like...
The condensation.
Is that... It's
The
like not
plant's
wet. I'm looking at it.
The bottom of the leaves are.
What is the bottom of a leaf?
The part where all the veins stick out. The face you're making.
It sounds like a joke someone would make in my presence that I wouldn't get.
This is no joke. Literally the bottom of a leaf is, I feel like, where all the frickin' veins stick out.
Oh, you mean like if it's flat, the flat plane, the underside, not like the low point.
Yeah.
Like the not stem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not wet. I'm looking at it right now.
It is. I'm looking at it right now.
What
Look.
do you have? What do you gain
Do
from
you
lying to
do
our
you
audience
see
about the
this?
wetness
Do you
of your
see
leaves?
the
Yeah, I
little
see you.
droplets?
I see you. No,
Okay.
there is no droplets, bro.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Anyways. Last episode.
Last episode, a lot happened.
It was a monster of an episode.
Yeah.
And I had to edit it, which is great.
I had to edit it. My favorite, I love when because it sounds ridiculous, the past tense of the verb edit and then it.
Edited it.
I edited it. That is bedonkulous that's a sentence. Like, my only interaction primarily with, well, this is not true. My primary interaction with non-native English speakers is Japanese people. So, to edit in Japanese is henshu. Henshu shimashita. I edited it. One edited something. And then you're like, oh, how do you say that? You go, I edited it. And then they get mad, rightfully so. And then I say, oh, yeah, well, past tense of to be hot. Atatakakatta. Okay?
Yeah.
You edited it.
Yep.
The first thing that happened is
Yezi had some flashbacks.
Yezi had some flashbacks to sort of meeting Fingers, seeing him for the first time, and all that implied to her. She went down, started putting out for Dawson to try and get him, interested.
I cracked up dying laughing when he was like, well, who told you? And I went, fuck.
I was laughing at that. What the heck? The other thing I was laughing at was in the previous episode was Yezi saying, he called me a harlot, or, he called me a harlot. And me as Stanley going, goodness. Goodness. Like, goodness. Anyway, yeah. And so they got up to the room. Yezi rolled really, really well. Totally non-suspicious at all. And totally learned all the information they needed. Yeah. Austin was on his way out, having been thoroughly convinced of something being afoot, when all of a sudden he didn't get a chance to leave because Fingers filled...
filled him with his hand.
Filled Austin's hand with his own hand. And then Austin was like, well, that's not a doorknob. I've touched many a doorknob. It also might not be a hand.
Yeah, honestly.
He stabbed a knife into the wall in front of Ethiad as Ethiad slowly approached, feeling weird about his time in the darkness. And Yezi reclined on the couch, bubbling with seething hatred for the man that she loves.
Yeah.
For the mistakes that he made.
Freaking, I was like, okay, now he's gonna leave, and then we can get out of here, and everything's gonna be. Oh no, okay, I gotta play like I planned this out.
As a plan, what can I say? I'm him, so I know. So anyway, that happened, and then we did like a little flash forward thing with Ethiad, where we found out about his childhood friend that he had named Luta. Of mysterious home living situation. Yeah. And how that sort of went down, what led to him being exiled from his clan, to an extent. That was sort of discretionary cutaway shot.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to him staring into the middle of distance, walking into a room to just kind of follow Fingers' to yes and Fingers' decision.
Yeah.
And put himself in potentially mortal danger because he has
probably absolute mortal danger.
0.01
he's
hit
like
points.
7 freaking hit points.
Yeah,
he's frail and feeble.
Frail and feeble. He'll be fine. He'll be all right. So anyway, after that, we cut away to Taveer.
Yep.
Taking a regular walk, stroll about town, walking to the ball, nothing's going on. Trying to stick, to the side of the road, trying to be safe.
Trying to be safe.
But what she doesn't realize is that shadows is where spooky men live, who are lying on the ground with their legs sticking out. She trips on his legs. Awakens the fiery ire of a cold dude who is blue and not lucid. Dubbity. And he maybe was gonna kill her until boom bam, Thalen the Wonder Boy.
I know, what the
appeared
heck?
out of nowhere. Wonder what went down with that. Appeared out of nowhere to save the day. And after a rushed conversation, all were ushered into a one of the assassin pathways that they used to navigate the city without being detected. And him and Thalen, Taveer, and Hale are all in their talking shop, as it were.
Talking shop. When Taveer says, I don't want to talk shop, I want to talk about what's going on.
Exactly, and they all go, she always has to have the last word, that Taveer. Hale was like, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool what I said, but we can go with that before the smash cut to the next scene. And all of a sudden, you're some kind of freaking freak, little freaking weirdo, hanging out in a warehouse.
Well, it's
you hear,
comfortable.
Is it? You hear the sounds of, and angry soldiers. So anyway, so you as this person, you hear the noises of angry soldiers and that are gonna search what is ostensibly at the moment your sleeping quarters for you.
For a me.
And you we're gonna find out maybe what you're gonna do about it. But maybe before we do that, we're gonna find something else out.
No.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to play this character, man.
I didn't say you weren't gonna play her.
I know, I'm just saying I want to play her now.
Yeah.
Oh wait, okay.
Anyway, so how do I communicate this without saying you are going to be playing her in the first scene? This living situation is not your permanent affair.
No.
Iferson. It is something that you do every once in a while. Why is that again?
Because honestly, I want to do stuff that people don't do all the time, because like if you're sleeping somewhere, then it's just somewhere that you can sleep. And I know that there's like designated spots that you should sleep, like taverns or houses or beds or stuff like that. But who's to say where I can sleep and where I can't sleep? Me. So I'm going to sleep here if I want to. Also, the best part about it is free.
That's true. Solid idea, Iferson.
Thanks.
You don't always do this, though. You know, aforementioned inns, taverns, etc. Sometimes you do occasionally take residence there.
Right.
Presumably for aforementioned I can do whatever I want reasons. But there was one time that you didn't sleep in either of these three options.
Right.
You were in Waypoint Town, and it was the middle of winter. What were you doing sleeping outside in the middle of winter, just on the street?
Sometimes I think that it's good for you to get some fresh air in your system and get some cold in your system, because like, you know, most of the time you're warm and your body stays warm, but sometimes you need to shock it into being cold just a little bit, because if you do that, then your body's going to remember how nice it is to be warm, and then you're going to want to choose to be more warm more often. Also, I'm reminding my body that I'm in charge.
You're cold? Not anymore, because yes, you are. Okay, so what was the place that you chose to sleep outside? What did it look like? What kind of place was it?
I think that earlier in the day, she was like walking around doing whatever the heck, and she saw some people like drunk sleeping in an alleyway, and she's just like, maybe I'll try that tonight. I don't see the appeal in it, but like maybe I'll try it, and then I'll see whether or not I like it. And then if I do like it, then that's another option for me to somewhere to sleep. And then she just like went somewhere where she's just like, oh, there's some boxes here. I could sleep on top of these boxes. And then decided to see whether or not she enjoyed that experience.
Was it like a nondescript kind of like street? Was it like apartments? Was it like under a bridge?
I think it was just like she finished whatever she was doing that day. Like, you know, maybe she needed to go pick up some of her mail that she like pays a tavern to hold a spot for her in like their kind of little area so that she can get mail there. And she went and like finished picking that up, and then left, and the first alley that she saw, which honestly might be right next to the tavern, just right on the outside.
You're gonna do what now?
I'm gonna go sleep out in the alleyway tonight.
We have a room you could stay in.
Oh, I know that you got room. I mean, like a lot of places got rooms. I could sleep anywhere, really. I mean, like I could go into a store and they got rooms in the store. I could sleep in there if I wanted to.
I appreciate that, but I mean, it's supposed to be like record levels of cold right tonight.
Well,
which is the thing we can measure.
Look, have you ever reminded your body that you're in charge?
She like looks at her husband and like looks back at you and is like, is that what this is about?
Look, your body wants to stay at a certain temperature like constantly. It's called this thing called equilibrium, right? And every race is different. I'm part summer eldrin, and I'm part human, so I'm a little bit warmer than 98.8. And, sometimes I want to remind my body that I'm in charge, and if I want to get hypothermia, I can. And so then when I stay warm and I keep it in equilibrium, it's a little bit more grateful towards me.
Oh, honey, I don't know if that's let her do what she wants. I mean, she's I like to cut your jib, kid.
Thanks.
Go out there. He, gives you, a shoulder punch. He's like, you tell your buddy who's boss.
Oh, shit.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. And they, the lady tavern proprietress kind of gives you, screw me, I don't know what I'm talking about. And looks at you with just deep concern. And is just kind of hands you over the letter that she was holding and wrinkling slightly. And she's gonna kind of give you a little nod and say, okay, well, if you do get too cold, you can come inside at any time.
Right. I mean, honestly, I might get too cold to the point where I don't wake up, but that's a choice that I'm making. I know that's a risk with cold and hypothermia and all that. People in the war died of hypothermia during the winter years because we didn't get good blankets and all that. So I know that's a thing that can happen.
She's wide-eyed looking over at her husband who had walked away after sanctioning your plan, and she's like, I really think that you should stay here tonight. I don't want you to be making decisions about your, health like that.
I don't see what you mean. Here. You've been nice to me and all that, so if it'll make you feel better, I'll bring a blanket out there with me.
Okay, that will... Here you go, and she is gonna grab one, and she grabs one and touches it. It's a little knitted whatever, and she runs her hand across it and puts it back. And she grabs another one, she's squeezing it, looking for the thickest one that she can find. And she just puts her hands together and she goes, I'll be right back, okay, don't move.
All right.
And she goes away from her little counter.
Iferson starts doing stretches and stuff. It's back bends and putting her freaking feet up, and she's
There's as she kind of walks away, claps her hands together. There's a couple people in the lobby area of this. It's an inn more than it's a tavern. There's a seating area bar type situation, but it's you can stay there too. You've all played JRPGs, you know what the heck is up. And they're in the corner, kind of watching your interaction, was this guy just kind of casually posted up in plain sight. And she's gonna, as she kind of walks away to go do her thing, he's gonna walk up to the counter and just kind of start peeking over it a little bit.
Hey there, mister, what is that you're doing?
Oh, didn't mind me.
I mean, she just walked away, and you decided to walk up here after she walked away.
What's it to you?
What race is he?
He's a high elf.
Okay. She's gonna stand up from her stretches that she's doing on the ground. She's like, I mean, I guess nothing, but I am just rather curious.
Well, I mean, times are hard.
Times are hard.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean you're gonna steal or something like that?
What are you doing? Why would you say something like that? You've got to be quiet around here. I figured we would, we'd be on the same page about this.
Be on the same page about stealing.
As you say that, you kind of hear, see other people kind of turning to look at you, and he's just like, oh, forget about it, and he's gonna put his head down and walk back into the corner.
Mister, you can choose whatever it is that you want to do. I'm not gonna stop you, but if you want to steal, you gotta come up with it.
Will you be? I'll forget about it. And he's gonna walk out the just stomps off into the cold night.
She's gonna look at everyone who's looking at her and be like, look, if y'all want to steal or do anything like that, if you're gonna make that choice, you gotta be proud about the choices that you're making. You can't be all wishy-washy about these choices. You gotta be, I'm gonna sleep in the alley tonight, and I'll tell everyone that I'm gonna sleep in the alley tonight because that's a choice that I made. You gotta be proud about the choices that you make.
You could hear a pin drop. Do you...
Nah, she just kind of like leans against the counter, her freaking elbows on the...
I said what I said.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are y'all still looking over here? They're just like looking at you like, all right. And then you can see all their eyes shift slightly to the side. Like slightly behind you.
Okay. She's not gonna look. She's gonna be like, mm-hmm.
So I brought your blanket.
Oh, thank you. She grabs it from her.
Okay, well, have a good night then.
Right, you too. I'll let you know if I wake up in the I'll check in on you. If I wake up in the morning, I'll come in here and I'll let you know that I woke up.
Excellent news for us. And she's gonna like kind of like give you a bow. This blanket is like blankety. It's a blanketiest blanket. You like grab it in your giant hands and it's like the squishiest, softest, warmest friggin' feathers flopping all over the place. You stuffed with all of the geese in all of the universe. And it's large too.
Okay.
It is you size for sure. What do you look like, by the way, you?
Well, I am a half elf, if you didn't already get that. I am half human and half summer eladrin. She is 31 years old, and she is 6'4", so extremely tall.
It's a tall campaign, man.
It is a tall campaign. Look, I'm a tall gal.
It's catered to Shay's desired universe.
And she's like extremely limby and lanky, like just super gangly. You look at her and you're like, you're all limbs. You're nothing but limbs. And she has more of like kind of like olive toned skin because she's getting those like kind of warm yellowy undertones from the summer eladrin side of her. And she's super, super like freckly all over her. And she has extremely long, pin straight copper hair. And when she smiles, you can see that her like top two canines stick out more than the rest of her teeth. Like they kind of almost look like they're fangs, but they're just like misaligned just a little bit. And she has very like mild elf ears, if you know what I mean, where they're like human ears but just pointed at the tip. And she also has super like warm amber eyes. They're kind of like super yellowy, but she is, you can like, people when they first look at her, they could tell that she's either partially blind or fully blind in her right eye. And most of her ear on that side is missing, where she has a massive scar that streaks from her eye across the side of her head. And then she has a very similar scar, like where her neck meets the beginning of like her shoulders. So like right in the crook of her neck. And it's all like healed over and all of that, but her eye is for sure like, you know, that bluish kind of glazed overness when a eye heals from a scar. And she is actually completely deaf and blind on that side, but on the rest of her, you know, perfectly fine, which actually gives her disadvantage on perception checks and then also disadvantage on ranged spell casting and weapon attacks. And she is a cleric monk multi-class.
Look at that. And as you and your limbs carry off this large blanket, I'm imagining it's kind of like, it was handed to you kind of like rolled up. Mm-hmm. How is it just like slung over the shoulder?
Yeah, for sure.
Would Iferson be careful about it, or is she just like dragging it on the ground, or like what's the deal?
I think that she's like carrying it, you know, like all rolled up and whatever. But I don't think that she would be like super careless about it. I think that while she's sleeping with it, she's just like, well, you gave it to me to sleep outside, so it must be like fine. It's gonna be on the ground and stuff like that. So I'm sure that it's like fine. I know that people care about stuff. I don't really care about stuff because stuff is just stuff, you know. You can always get more stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So as you walk out of this tavern, it is wintertime. Mm-hmm. So it is, which one is winter? Winter's dark in the morning and light at night, or light in the morning and dark at night? Do you know what I'm talking?
It gets darker earlier.
It gets darker earlier in wintertime.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, It's dark out. It's dark out because it's winter. It's like kind of, like 7:30-ish, like about when people would start thinking about maybe get, post dinner the Instagram time, the Instagram hour.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So prime time to find a good old place to set up shop for the night.
Yeah.
You intend to do that literally directly outside of the
Yeah.
the
I
inn?
mean, it's the first place that I saw, and I mean, like, there's boxes and stuff out here. So.
Yeah, it sounds logical to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of like make your spot, you bed down, sleeping just outside. You can see people walking into the inn going, does she not? She doesn't know it's an inn. She doesn't know she could probably sleep there. It's not that busy. Okay, I don't know. And a few people pass you and they're like looking at you funny.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like fully just like, are you just staring? You just sitting and staring?
I think that she's like laying on the ground with her hands behind her head, staring at the sky, like looking at the stars and all that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, do you ever fall asleep?
I think that she tries to, and then like because it's so cold that it's like hard for her to, so it's like very in and out kind of sleep.
Oh yeah, like she keeps waking up
Yeah.
and something like, man, I'm really cold.
Yeah.
All right, go back to sleep. You wake up at one point to the feeling of somebody kicking your foot, which, is your foot sticking out of the blankets or your shoe or whatever?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
So he's like kicking your shoe. You just feel like on your foot.
She's gonna be like, wake up, kind of shake her head and be like, "May I help you?"
Yeah, it's a tavern. You can sleep there.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Are you like drunk?
What, me? No, why would you think that? And he takes another swig of brown whatever the heck.
Can I try some of that?
Oh, you gotta pay for it.
I got paid for it. Well, I don't got any money, so.
But you don't need to pay for it with money.
Oh, I see what you mean. Look at here, mister. I'm not gonna pay with my body or anything like that, so if you just want to head on up out of here, that would be great. You know that it's a tavern as well, right?
A beautiful little girl like yourself, you know.
A little girl, and she's gonna stand up.
And he's like,
I've never been called that before.
oh, well,
She's gonna like put her hand on top of his head and be like, now what choice did you make to come down here and decide to bother me instead of maybe go to somewhere where this is sanctioned?
Well, how am I supposed to know you're 8 feet tall when you're lying down, you know?
How'd you even know that I was a girl?
Well, I've never been with a 9-foot tall lady before. Might be, interesting experience.
Right. Well, I have no interest in you at all, so I don't think that you're going to be able to make that choice tonight, so.
You're going to roll intimidate.
Yeah.
Intimidate fate? Intimidate?
7.
Oh, really? He's a drunk guy, you know? So the mental faculties are he's not weighing his options well. And he's gonna, when he does that, he's gonna be like, oh, come on, love, it could be fun.
She's going to take a, like, potion out that she has. She's gonna be like, I never wondered what it was like to be blind until I suddenly was. Maybe I'll make you know that experience because I heard drinking a lot can make you go blind. And she's going to cast blindness and deafness on this guy. They need to make a Constitution saving throw, and my spell save DC is 16.
Nat 20.
Holy crap!
I was like, that'll work. He's a civilian. So you go to throw this potion at him. He's going to, when you go to, like, throw this potion, while you're saying, might go blind, your speech.
Yeah.
Iferson hasn't learned about the snappy one-liners. She's a more is more type lady.
Yeah.
I'll explain to you my whole plan. When you go to do that, you can see his face is kind of like turning a little bit green.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you go to toss the potion at him, he just doubles over and goes and just fully whiffs over his head this potion of deafness and blindness.
Oh, man. Well.
I probably needed that. Well, anyway, let's get down to business, shall we, love?
Nah, I think that makes my interest less, even more so. I think that maybe if you did something suave or something like that, then maybe, like, you could have turned this around for you, but the smell of puke really isn't getting me in the mood now.
You say what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You hear just and you hear it before you see it. And all of a sudden, the guy just falls, like, sideways down onto the ground. And you see what had hit him, presumably, or what had caused this to happen, was an apple that had exploded on his head.
Okay.
And then, like, you see, like, mostly intact apple with, like, apple chunks. And he's, like, scruffy dude, and so his, like, he's got, like, a hat on, and it like, flies off, a scarf, and, like, hits the ground, and he's just like, oh, and, like, lying on the ground, not being cool about it.
Where did the apple come from?
Are you gonna look in the direction of the apple? So as you do that, you see, like, coming out of the shadows is a lady. Or at least you think. She's got all the earmarks of a lady. Even though she's super bundled up because wintertime, same thing, like hat, scarf. You see, like, blonde hair, like kind of like honey blonde hair that's, like, trying to be up but blown in the wind. Hard to make out super clear facial features because it's nighttime. And she's a little bit far away, kind of walking towards you in just a very, like, kind of patchworky knit clothing strikes you as... We'll do a perception check.
Okay. 6.
Strikes you as extremely fashionable. Super Iferson flavored aesthetic.
Okay.
Like, very everything all at once, like... patchwork, different fabric, she is exercising her free will. That is clear from her attire. At least that's Iferson's take.
Yeah.
And she's gonna emerge from the shadows, and she's gonna go, I saw what you're doing, okay?
That was mighty fine throwing there. You really nailed him in the head.
He's gonna kind of, like, push up from the ground, and he's gonna be like, oh, what was going on? You need to leave this young lady alone right now. If you think I'm messing with you, she's gonna, like, keep, like, walking up to you, walking up in that direction, and he's gonna be like, I didn't know, I thought maybe she would. She's not. So why don't you get to stepping, Mr. Guy? And she's gonna, like, kind of march up to him. You can see now she's got, like, those cool old-timey, like, Victorian witch shoe looking shoes, you know what I'm talking about? The, like, lacy up boots. And she's, like, hand on the hip, tapping her foot, like, as he kind of, like, gets up and slips a little bit. She, like, rolls her eyes, and she's just she's, like, standing in front, in between you and him, and just, like, looking at him with derision, shaking her head and stuff.
Well, fella, it seems like you got a choice to make. I mean, there's 2 people here that don't want you around. So, I mean, you could stay here and then find out what that means, or you could just leave and, find somebody else who's maybe a bit more willing.
No, I just want you to on my head, and he's gonna just, like, like, slink off, like, okay, I just clearly go the way I wanted. And he, like, you kind of hear, like, general, like, drunk dude. He's just, women, type of thing. Oh, so, jeez. Lumbers away, making noises. The lady's just, like, hands on her hips, kind of tapping her foot, and she's just like...
Where is it that you came from? Because I didn't see you in this alleyway when I came out here.
Where did I come from? That's not important. Are you sleeping out here?
Yeah, I am. Are you gonna join me?
She like raises an eyebrow at you, and she's gonna look at you, and she looks behind you at the warm candlelight that is illuminating the inn sign behind you, and is gonna like look back at you and raise an eyebrow.
Oh, well, so this is like, I guess the best way to explain this is like an experiment, you know? Because, like, if you think about it, anywhere is a bed if you're sleeping on it, right? And I wanted to see what it was like to sleep outside in an alleyway because I saw some people who were doing it.
She's gonna roll her eyes just like skyward.
Why are you rolling your eyes at me?
Look, sweetheart, it's not safe to sleep outside in the wintertime. It's cold outside, no?
I mean, it is, but like, you know, either I'm going to survive or I'm not, and it's going to be whatever it's going to be. If I survive, then cool, I survived, and then I can go sleep somewhere else the next day. If I don't survive, I won't know about it.
She's gonna like walk up to you, and she's reasonably short.
Yeah.
Like the 5'5" department. And so she's gonna reach up towards your face.
Yeah.
Are you gonna let her do that?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and she's gonna put the back of her hand like on your cheek.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna be like, "You're freezing, sweetheart. She's not gonna stay out here all night."
Well, I have been sleeping out here for like a couple hours. I mean, what time is it? Do you know what time it is?
Let me check real quick. And she's gonna like turn her head, and in the
Oh my god.
in the space between two buildings, she can see the big sundial in the middle of town,
Oh, yeah?
which it's nighttime. And she's gonna be like, it's like, like 10 o'clock, 10:30.
All right, so I've been out here, let's say, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, so like 3.5 hours, a bit like that.
You're gonna catch your death out here, sweetheart. Please, please, this is ridiculous. You sound just like him.
Just like who?
Anyway, look,
I'm sorry, what's your name, ma'am? My name's Iferson. You can call me Iffy if you want. Ain't that funny? Iffy if you want.
she laughs and like shakes her head. You stick your hand
yeah,
out. I'm watching Shay stick her hand out, going, audio medium. And she's gonna put her hand in yours. She has gloves on, so there is like cold leather.
It takes a second for Iferson's fingers to wrap her.
She like looks at you, and she like looks at your hand slowly close around hers, and she's like, right, so that play, no way are we doing this.
Look, I've spent plenty.
It's Meredith.
Meredith? That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Nice
my mother
to meet you.
gave it to me.
You know, my mother gave me my name too. It was actually a combination between my mama and my dad that giving me this name.
Roll a perception check.
Okay. Oh no. Is this gonna be another episode of trash rolls?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I get disadvantage
you did disadvantage,
too.
so it might be worse. Could be worse.
6.
Wow. She's like, she seems really excited to meet you.
Yeah.
She seems like super about it.
Look, ma'am, I've spent a lot of nights in that tavern, and well, I'm rather bored of it now, and I'm always looking for new experiences. I have figured out I don't quite like this experience, so I'm gonna not continue with it. But I'm just gonna find somewhere else to sleep, or maybe I'll just make like a fire or something like that.
No, that's my point. I'm on my way home.
Oh, like you're inviting me to your house?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely not gonna stay out here all night, so you can pick. Choose your own adventure, what you'd like to try.
That does sound mighty interesting, and my mama always told me that if I didn't accept an invitation to somebody's house, that was really rude, so I will kindly come with you, except I need to bring this blanket back first because it's not mine, and I feel rather bad if I take it with me. So.
Oh, really? Where'd you get it from?
In the tavern.
All right. she's gonna step back and let you walk in that direction.
I walk in and
What's the blanket look like?
What's the blanket look like?
What's the blanket look like?
It's
Give me a blanket description.
a little blanket description. It's probably like patchwork, like, quilts that have like just a bunch of tiny little different squares keeping it together. I think it's like that, but it has some kind of pattern on it. Probably just like diamonds, like different kind of diamonds all over it. And it's mustard yellow and orange and green.
Heck
and
yeah.
It's like just making all those different patterns and all that. And it's super fluffy because just full of down feathers and like fluff and all that. And so she's like, she kind of, as she's walking, she's like folding it up and rolling it up. And she's going to see if that lady at I would assume she would know her name since she pays this tavern to keep her mail.
At the tavern proprietress lady, Maggie.
All right.
Yeah.
She's gonna look for Maggie, and if she's not there, she's just gonna leave it on the like bar.
Yeah, Maggie's like in the corner wiping up the same spot on a table like an NPC. She's just like wiping it, and she like hears the sound of the door opening and like turns and sees you, and she's gonna roll a perception check. You look freezing cold. I dropped the thing on the ground. You're like the bluest summer Eldrin this side of the Mississippi.
Summer Eldrins usually look a little sunburnt too. Like they got that rosacea thing going on. And
you're like purple.
Yeah, it's like that has gone away.
She's like looking at you like, as I thought this was unadvised, but here we are now.
Hey Maggie, I'm here to bring this blanket back.
What, are you bringing it back?
Right.
Because you're gonna sleep inside?
I mean, I'm going to sleep inside, but I'm not going to sleep in... I mean, I think I'm sleeping inside. I'm going to somebody's house, which presumably it means that it's an inside house and not an outside house.
Whose house are you going to?
Her name's Meredith.
And as you say that, you hear like the sound of a woman leaning behind you. She peeks around the corner and gives like a little wave.
Oh, goodness. You scared the heck out of me.
Sorry. Hey, Maggie. She'd be like, oh, Mary. Okay, well, it's a good situation. This is quite serendipitous. Yeah, no, anyway, so she'll be okay. Don't worry.
Right. I was going to be okay anyways.
Of course you were, darling. Okay, well, you have a good sleep now.
Right. Anyways, I'll see you in about a week when I come pick up more mail.
And you all kind of look at each other like, this is the end of the interaction.
And Iferson's going to like turn on her heel and just walk out.
The only one who doesn't feel awkward is Iferson.
Yeah.
Maggie and Margaret are like, we don't know each other that well. They're doing the like smile plastered like nods of courtesy. Like, oh, how's your husband, boyfriend? I don't know. And then Meredith is going to like dip out of the way so you can kind of walk through.
Mm-hmm.
And as you walk to her place, she's like, kind of like, you guys are walking kind of like side by side because there's nobody around. It's a freaking cold night, middle of the night. What's Iverson wearing? Just like her normal clothes? Is she like the happiest face that was ever made?
I think that Iverson wears stuff that like really isn't clothes, like just pieces of cloth pinned together, like wraps, like, you know, just like the ace bandages don't exist, but like, you know, that kind of thing where it's just like she takes a roll of a wrap and just wraps it around her chest and then like pins a piece of cloth around her shoulders and is wearing like the like trashiest pants, like just crap that she's just like, I've just found this sitting around, or like I was just given this by somebody and I figured clothes are clothes, you know? I mean, like the definition of clothes is something that's covering your body, so as long as it's covering my body, I can wear it. So she's like no jacket.
So she's nice and warm, is what you're saying. So as you kind of turn and start walking side by side in that direction, you know, we'll roll a perception check.
Okay, that one. So
really,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm too cold.
You are cold. You're cold as heck.
Mm-hmm.
You're not aware of how cold you are.
Okay.
Because you're so cold. Your brain is like, I don't know what this is. Life, the world. What's that? I don't know. Because it's shutting down because it's so cold. And so your body, you are looking much worse for wear than you feel.
Okay.
Because you can't really do that at this point. And you kind of feel the world, like the ground. You thought when you walked to that tavern in earlier today, the ground felt pretty level.
Yeah.
It felt reasonably level. Doesn't feel, we're maybe going uphill or something. I mean, a town is in a valley, you know,
That
we might be
is
taking
true.
a weird way. And you kind of, the only thing you kind of feel, and the only reason you feel it is because it feels like pressure, is something kind of propping you up a little bit. And then as soon as this feeling of like, I feel kind of strange, you know, kind of comes over you, you feel suddenly just all at once, like it's like getting in a warm bathtub.
Yeah.
You feel this just like overwhelming warmth just cover your like upper body, shoulders, like legs and or like upper legs and stuff like that. And you realize that what is on you now is a jacket.
Oh, okay.
You can kind of feel like that be put around you. Are you gonna do something about it, or
I'm gonna
just let it happen?
Look at her and be like, "Were you just carrying this jacket around with you the whole time?"
You turn to look at her.
Yeah.
She's not wearing a jacket anymore.
Oh, miss, you don't have to give me your jacket or anything. I'm
No,
fine.
I do. No, I do. I for sure do. Roll another perception check.
Okay. 9.
You realize that you're kind of like walking, but she's also kind of like, she's closer to you than she was before, that's sure.
Can I make a medicine check on myself?
Yeah, for sure.
13.
You are horrendously cold.
Okay.
The moment the jacket goes on, you suddenly, there's context, and the context is the feeling of warmth, which has returned to you.
You know, man, one time I had to treat a lot of people for this in while I was in the war and all that. I'm pretty sure that I have hypothermia.
Yeah, well, you see, so do I. And if you're not gonna sleep in the inn, then look, my house isn't that far, and we'll get you there. We'll get you all warmed up, okay?
All right, that sounds nice.
Are you gonna be okay on the way there?
I mean, I'm sure I'll be fine. We'll find out, won't we?
Yep. And she's gonna like take her hat off and like put it on your head.
I'm surprised you can reach.
She jumps. She says, bloop. And she's gonna like start like taking off her scarf, and she's like, okay.
You don't have
No. Shh, be quiet. Listen, I'm really this. You need this. Just
Look,
trust me.
sometimes we make choices, and then within that choice, we make the choice to deal with the consequences of our actions. And if the consequence of my actions is getting hypothermia, then I guess it's well and good that I know how to treat that.
I don't know if that tracks, but luckily we're a block away, so you're in luck that we live so close. And she's gonna like you're warming up a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, you're still, it's like internally you're cold.
Yeah.
On the outside you can feel it like trying to help a little bit. But it's mostly just keeping whatever non-heat your body was producing in. So like it's like she's doing her best. And you hear it just go like she's walking next to you. And as you turn the corner, she's like, okay, we're here. And you see this house. It's like the inn that you get your mail delivered to is in a kind of like slummier part of town. It's nice there because people are strange like you to an extent. You know, like they're free thinkers in this part of town. But the nature of that particular tavern is such that you're not gonna get a lot of attention. You're not gonna stand out a whole lot. It's also cheaper than other places. So a little like slummy. You know, we're talking just like clothing, freaking like clothing lines like all over the place. Buildings on top of each other. And you turn the corner and there's a building that you can recognize as some sort of, you know, establishment, apartments, you don't know. And then there's like another building right next to it that you think is touching it because they kind of stick forward a bit more. And then as you go around the corner, you realize that there's a whole building in between these two buildings that is just recessed in between them. And it's all just like dilapidated wood paneling, like stuff that has been tied together to keep it, you know, in one piece and stuff. And there's like cat bowls, just bowls and bowls and bowls, like food. The water is frozen, like blankets and beds and stuff. And there's like, you know, when there's like a porch that has that lattice design, and you can hear like underneath there, like sticking their little paws out. And she's like, hey, guys, yeah, you won't come inside either. It's weird. How's the running theme for tonight? And she's going to, like, kind of, like, hurry up the stairs and, like, grab your hands just to make sure that you're okay and just, like, pull you kind of up the stairs. And there's, like, a candlelight outside, and you can kind of see it illuminate her face a little bit better. And you can tell that she's like kind of older, like mid 40s or something like that.
Okay.
Like pale skin. And she's gonna like kind of like she like looks at you to make sure you're okay, and then she's gonna kind of like look down, and just like just to look. She's like patting her clothes and stuff like that, and reach into her pocket, and she's like, "Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I hope you like cats."
Oh, I love animals. I've never been to this part of town before, which is surprising because I feel like I've been everywhere in Waypoint Town.
Right. Welcome. And she's gonna like shove her key in the door, and open the door, and pushes you in a little bit.
I have to like duck.
Yeah, for sure. But she's like, I want you inside with the quickness. And she's doing that mom thing where she's like guiding you by the upper body to be like, this is the house and you're gonna sit and we're gonna put soup inside of you. And she's like, as you open the door, there's a couple like lamps inside, just generally like splotches of light, but it's really dark kind of in general. It is still, you don't feel meaningfully warmer, like markedly warmer. And you can see there's like kind of like dancing shadows on one of the far walls, so like evidence of a fire burning, it trying its best to combat the cold. And then it's just like, wood walls, wood like floors, and right in front of the door there is a staircase. And as she's kind of like guiding you around the corner, she's like, okay, so we're gonna go this way is the kitchen. She like looks down, and you kind of hear.
I'm gonna look over.
Yeah. And she like looks down, and she's like, "What's wrong? You didn't come home when I thought you were gonna come home. Look, I'm sorry. I got a little held up." And she's gonna like look up at you, who is like a giant ice cube person.
I'm gonna walk up to the kid, and what do they look like?
You can basically not tell because it's just a pile of clothes.
Okay.
Like hat, earmuff, scarf, like, sweater and stuff.
I'm gonna like crouch down to where I'm like, squatting in front of them and be like, hey there, sweetheart. Sorry about that. I think that I was what held your mama up. My name's Iferson. You can call me Iffy if you want. I like that catchphrase a lot. What's your name?
This kid, like, as you start talking, the moment you start talking, he's just like, that's not my mom's voice.
Yeah.
That's some other person. And he's gonna, like, look at you, and then he's gonna, like, look at you.
Yeah.
And he's, like, kind of staring at you wide-eyed a little bit, and you can investigate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do insight or investigation.
Investigation. Or, I mean, whatever, same, whichever you feel, bro.
25.
Kid scared of your face. Super. You can see, like, looking at you, not my mom. For sure, not my mom. Okay, face. Okay, eyeball. Gone. Ear gone. Spooky face. Like, fully just, like, the way that a kid does not know that they are being rude is just, like, staring at that side of your face.
Oh, look, honey, I know. When that first happened to me, I was scared to look at myself, too. But look, if I just do this, and she's gonna take her hand and cover that side of her face, I'm just a normal person, just like you. I just have to have a little bit something special about myself.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the kitchen. She's gonna like kind of like haul you up, and she's gonna kind of give him a look that's like and like give him a look and be like, "That's not nice. Okay, I'm home now. You want to hang out in the kitchen? We can do that." And she's gonna like, she like kind of is guiding you in the direction of the kitchen. It's like there's staircase, hallway, kitchen kind of thing. And you like walk into the kitchen and it's fully just like there, everything is everywhere, and you realize kind of around you, because the kitchen is like more illuminated, like kind of like, you know, general home gathering spot style, the lights always on type thing. If that's, you know, like if we're not all asleep, people are in here doing stuff. And you can see there's like chairs in the corner where they're just like kids. Just kids. There's like doing like various things. Like mostly what they're doing now is looking at you. Because you're the large.
Wow, man, you got a mighty big family around here.
Yeah, well, you know, it's I guess always growing. So go ahead and have a seat and I'll fix you up with something to eat, okay?
All right. I mean, that sounds nice.
Yeah. And you see like all the kids that are in the room, that you can't even really tell. It's like super dark and everything, and you're cold and stuff's weird. But you can kind of see them like look at this lady, Meredith. Like kind of, there's like two girls that were sitting at the kitchen table who, when you kind of walked in, got up and were just kind of like gonna go out the other door. And then you see another kid that's like just kind of ducking, you know, out because they're, you know, they're like, what the heck? Like the way that you, when you saw like your parents bring a adult friend over, were like, I don't want to be involved.
I think that Iferson sees all this, and as she sits down, she goes, I might as well just do one big introduction. So if you're curious or interested, then you can listen up. My name's Iferson. Your mama found me in an alleyway because I was wanting to sleep out there, and then I was too cold, and I didn't want to sleep in the tavern. So I guess that she's having me sleep here tonight. So thank you to all of y'all letting me be here. And thank you to your mama for being a nice lady. If you want to introduce yourself, I'd be more than interested in learning all y'all's names. But if not, that's your choice too.
I'm Sana. Shh.
Sana? That's a mighty fine name.
I don't know. I thought...
Anybody else want to offer up their names?
It's just complete like silence after that, and then you see Meredith roll her eyes and goes, "They're a little shy sometimes."
That's all right. That's their choice to be shy.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe one day they'll make a different choice, and then they'll find that the world's a lot more interesting when you talk to people.
I was trying to...
Sana, I see that you got that mind. You got that mind that's gonna really blossom when you get older, and you gain a lot more confidence. I see it in you. I was in me too when I was younger. And now look at me. In a house full of y'all.
I think she could be cool. She's so tall. You hear just like kids, like the reviews are in and you're terrifying and tall. Except Sana's kind of down. And Meredith is just going to start cooking you some soup. Like she's like, just, you know, fire, big old pot, dents all over the place. Can't find a spoon, uses some tongs. Like, it's just like, I don't know what's up. And the smell of soup fills, what kind of soup is it? You get to pick the soup.
It's like a ham and vegetable soup. Like,
snap.
She had some leftover, like, almost bone-picked ham that she's just, like, scraping the rest of it off, and just leftover vegetables. But, like, the vegetables that keep well during the winter, so, like, carrots and celery and onions and potatoes and stuff like that. And so it's just, like, super hearty.
Yeah, she's like, all Beans, of the vegetables, everything's going bad, we gotta make soup out of it. And so she's like starting with that, and then she's like, oh, and starts like puts on a kettle, makes you some tea, and she like puts it on the table, and she's like, it's hot, okay, and you're not, so just don't, you know, burn your tongue and stuff.
Oh, I'm part summer Eldrin, so stuff like that doesn't really bother me all that much. She's gonna take a huge swig of it, and it's like perfectly fine. Like,
All right. Well, I guess I'm learning a lot about you. Oh, is that? Oh, is that? I guess that makes sense now.
what makes sense?
Give me a name. Girl's name.
A girl's name?
Yeah. I hate this.
Zira.
Okay. Zira, she's always telling me dinner's not hot enough. I guess that's why.
Zira.
Yeah. Anyway, so soup will be ready in a minute.
All right, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I ate today was like an apple. And it was an apple, and it had a worm in it, and I didn't realize it until I already took a bite out of it. But honestly, food is food, if you know what I mean. Like, as long as it's giving you nutrients.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do know what you mean. And she's gonna kind of like, soup's cooking. She's like got her hands, like when you're like, well, there's nothing, there's fire in here, and fire is way hotter than I need to be. So you're doing the like hands in and out of the fire because they're so cold. And she's like rubbing her hands in front of it.
Ma'am, may I ask what it is that you were doing out in the alleyway?
I told you I was walking home.
Yeah, where are you walking home from?
My job.
Oh, what do you do?
Well, this, I guess.
Cooking?
Yeah. Among other things, yeah.
All right. I mean, I love picking up new jobs and doing a bunch of stuff just like randomly. If you ever need help doing anything, I would love to learn a new skill. I have a lot of skills. I mean, like, in all the years of life that I've learned, I don't think that I've ever kept up with something for more than like a month because I'm just so interested in learning a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? This past month, I've just been selling newspapers. And that's been mighty interesting because I get to read the news for free. And then also, sometimes when I sell people a newspaper, they tell me everything that they think about it.
That sounds like people.
You're right.
That's for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, I got lots of your newspapers here, and she like takes out another one to feed into the fire. She's like, listen, I can tell you one thing they're good for.
I mean,
you can wrap a fish in a newspaper better than you can wrap a fish in anything.
You're right. Things can be used for anything, not just for what their intended purpose is.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. You gotta be creative with
You
stuff.
do. You gotta be creative with your life,
Yeah.
Make a lot of different choices.
She's kind of like finishes up with the soup. It's hot now, and she's gonna like hold a bowl in like just fingertips.
Yeah.
And she's gonna ladle, like, she's like trying to use the tongs to like, she's like, I hate this. This is awful. She grabs a smaller pot and like puts it, like hands it to you and is like, I'm sorry about this.
Why are you sorry?
Lots
Remember,
of reasons.
Things don't need to be used for their intended purpose for it to be
You're
useful.
right. We just established that. Well, listen, you get started on this. I will be right back. I gotta fix something.
All right.
And you hear her kind of like, she like, is fully just in everything that she hadn't put on you when she, like came into the house, which presumably you're still wearing all of unless you took it off. And you're starting to feel a little bit less completely miserable. You have like mental faculties returning to you, and you can kind of like experience the world once more.
Yeah.
And you can kind of hear like out of the very corner of your ear, I don't know, her say, look, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that you got scared, okay? I just had to deal with this because, look, there's this thing that can happen. And if you get too cold, you can sort of, you don't feel so good. So I had to fix that problem. I'm really sorry.
Oh, honey, if you want me to tell them about hypothermia, I know a heck of a lot about it.
And she's gonna like, you hear like, I'm not gonna do it. You hear like pitter patter little feet. And she's like, okay, well, I'll be up. She's like calling.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I'll be up later. Okay. She's gonna like walk back into the room and hit you with like a mirthless smile. If you want to interpret that, you can. Well, I have a sip of oolong tea.
7.
She's giving you like a smile that's like I will have to fix a problem later that
Okay.
we both kind of created, but
Yeah.
I feel bad blaming you for it. .com. Like, she's just kind of giving you like a, okay.
Miss, how many kids do you have?
You know, a bunch.
Did you lose count?
Oh, no, it's not like that. It's just, you know, you gotta keep them safe from people you don't know that well.
Oh, I'm the person you don't know that well.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you seem like a good kid. I just, you know.
I haven't been called a kid in a long time. That's crazy.
Well, you're a kid to me, that's for sure. And she's gonna, like, walk up to you as she says that, and you see that she has one kind of glove off. She's, like, holding it in her hand. You can see that it's a little bit wet. And the other hand is taking the other glove off. She grabs, like, a cup of tea that she had made for herself.
Yeah.
And she's, like, walking towards you. And she takes a now bare hand and puts it, like, on the back of it on your cheek. And she's just like, okay, we're moving in the right direction, clearly. So, how's the soup?
Oh, it's mighty fine. I like it a lot. Soup is one of my favorite meals.
How much soup has she eaten now?
Probably like all of it. I think
like
that she's just like kind of like finger in the bowl, like doing the remnants.
Oh, wow. Well, good. She's gonna like look at the bowl. Roll out perception check.
Okay. 14.
She gave you, there was like soup that she made an amount of soup.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
And then you ate it all.
Yeah.
And she's looking at an empty pot. And your brain cells are firing. She's like, you get the sense that she's like, I should have made more soup.
Oh, miss, you don't have to worry about me. I mean, I'll make anything food. So.
Right.
I'll eat late. Everything's fine.
Okay. Well, my point is, I just wish, you know, I had something else warm to give you. That's not just tea, you know.
Oh, ma'am, I'm fine. Look at here. You got a fire going, and I think that's the warmest thing that you could possibly make for me. So.
I suppose that's true. Well, should I show you to the room now?
Oh, I guess so. I mean, like, I can just sleep out here if you want me to.
Nah, well, like I said, you know, the kids are kind of wary.
Yeah, I kind of catch that drift. Sana, though, she's got a good eye on her.
Yeah, she's a handful, that's for sure. Anyway, so it's top floor. So, shall we?
Sure.
Okay, so she's gonna, like, you stand up.
Yeah.
She's, like, watching you. You'd be like, okay, we're good. Okay, cool. Turn starts, like, walking up the stairs, and you hear the sound of small people evacuating, like, every place where you are, just, like, and you can hear her rolling her eyes, and she's just like, she's just a person. She's just a person who isn't me. I promise. I know. Listen, I know. And she's, like, saying this to everyone. I know. Do you really think I would do that? No, right? Cool. So, we're all on the same page. Everything's all right. And you can see, like, some of them, you can see some kids are, like, they don't care, really.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, girl, like, sitting on the ground, and she just, like, waves at you as you walk up the stairs.
I wave and kind of give her a wink.
Mm-hmm. And then she, like, squeals with delight. She's just like, like, giggles. She's like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Little confidence, bravery, everything's fine. And as you go up the stairs, there's just, like, rooms. Mm-hmm. There's rooms. This place is lousy with rooms. And there's, like, just freaking, like, you see beds, you see sleeping bags, you know, whatever. It smells like a house. You know the complicated smell of a house that has lots and lots of people living in it? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not bad. It's just many different smells, you know? Like, because I think people smell, they have their own smells. Yeah. Not that it's not, like, bad, but just they smell like different people. So I feel like the more you add, the more complex it is. Yeah. And it's definitely present to you. So there's, and it's also, like, it's super dark and stuff, so it's hard to make out specifically what it is that's happening. And you're going up the stairs, and you hear whispering, And Meredith kind of turns her head and goes, "We'll talk about it tomorrow, okay? I get it. I know you're upset. We'll figure it out tomorrow, okay? Can we do that? Thank you." And she like leads you up the rest of the stairs, and you hear just like a stomp, a rage stomp. And she's gonna like just like give you like a world weary like look. Leads you to the top floor, opens the door. What does the room look like? The only thing about this room is that it's small and it has one bed in it.
Okay. I think that it has the one bed and it has a bunch of different chests and stuff, like just storage stuff up here, like wardrobes and chests and cabinets and stuff like that is just kind of like hanging on the wall, or like every available surface. Like you can still walk in, but there's like, we gotta keep stuff somewhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's probably like kids' toys or whatever in this room. Like they use it as like a, like, nobody's sleeping in here. We can just play in here, you know?
Yeah.
And they forgot to clean up after themselves or whatever.
Mm. So as you she opens the door to this room, you hear the like rumbling sound of stuff behind a door, and she's just like, "Oh, kids, please, for me, do this for me." And you kind of walk into the room and you kind of step on something that isn't part of the normal ground. Yeah. Do you care about that, or are you just gonna keep walking?
I mean, I'll pick it up, but.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna fully pick it up?
Yeah.
It's just like a piece of wood. It's like has like half of a thing on it. Or it's like, you can tell it's a broken off piece of wood. The other piece is on the ground. Yeah. And it just has the letters SH on it. It's like broken piece of wood SH. And then she's like, "Oh, sorry about this. Like I said, we'll talk about it later." But
I don't see why you gotta be sorry. I mean, I wasn't gonna be here tonight anyways.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it would be a bit less, stuff everywhere. But yeah.
Stuff is just stuff.
Stuff is stuff.
The world is full of stuff.
It sure is. My world is full of stuff. And she's gonna like kind of open the door and do like a, here you go.
Yeah.
This is it. And she's like, just the only thing is, whatever you gotta do is fine. Whatever you need, he's not using it. So you can, if you need something, you can take it. He should have everything he needs with him.
Who's he?
The kid who usually sleeps in this room.
Is he here tonight?
Well, no. You see, that's sort of the point of contention here.
That I'm using his room?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, but you don't gotta worry about it. That's not your problem. It's my problem for tomorrow to deal with. So, but just all I'm saying is, if you need something, right, you can take what you need, because anything that he wants, he'll probably already have with him, and if not, I can't be, anyway.
Right. Well, I don't think I need anything. I think I'm rather set, but I appreciate the offer.
Yeah, well, okay. Good. I mean, or not. Whatever. I'm just saying, if you do, that's fine. If you need more blankets, let me know. I'll probably be awake a couple more hours, and I'll be downstairs if you need anything. And let me know if you can't sleep because of any reason, okay?
Oh, ma'am, I don't know if you have realized this or not, but I can't hear out of my right side. So if I just lay on my left side, I can't hear anything.
Well, that works out in this particular instance, I'd say, pretty well. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, I'll be downstairs if you need me. And she like bows her head and just like shuts the door.
Well, this is rather interesting.
Yeah, as you look around, you see just like, peeling paint and stuff, and like drawings on the wall, and then like rubbed off drawings on the wall, like someone tried to clean and they gave up. So like, it's a grease pencil, okay? What I got other stuff to do and clean grease pencil off the GD wall. It's fine. It's in here anyway. There's like wardrobes with like stuff hanging out of them, and general pieces of furniture, books.
I'm gonna like look through the wardrobes and check, like not thoroughly search, but just kind of open them and look at them and be like, I wonder what's in here.
Yeah, it's primarily nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a couple, like a pair of socks and like a shirt or
Mm-hmm.
something that's just like stuff was removed and stuff that someone didn't really care about or wasn't using was left behind.
Yeah.
Everything has kind of like a layer of dust on it. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can feel, like, as you're kind of like looking through stuff, you can feel a kind of it kind of feels different from some of the other clothes, and you kind of like mess with it, turn over, and you see it has something written on the like inside of the collar.
Mm-hmm. What does it say?
It is the letters MEESH.
Mish. All right.
Those are the letters that you see. It's kind of like on the inside collar of the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's that. And other than that, it's just like kind of general whatever, like socks and you know, nothing of any import really. Like every once in a while there'll be like a wooden dog or some little tchotchke.
Yeah.
And then like toys that they look well loved, kind of just around. And yeah, so that's your situation.
Okay.
And there's a big window with a big old crack going through it.
All right. I think that she's gonna lay down on the bed and kind of get all comfy and just be like, well, I guess I might as well get some sleep if I can. Maybe I'll look a little bit less scary in the morning and I can meet some more kids.
Dun, 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 dun. Does she go to sleep? Yeah. Okay, cool. How well do you sleep? Do you want to roll for it, or do you want to
Sure, I'll roll for it.
Okay, cool. So more closer to 20, mo better?
Okay.
Cool.
17.
Wow, you sleep great. Being cold, man.
Yeah, it
being
really
cold,
takes some energy out of you.
Yeah, being cold and eating soup shortly thereafter is like the 2-hit combo on sleeping good. So you wake up not because of a sound or because of a whatever experience type situation. The sun is kind of streaming through the window. It's still cold, but it's like warming you up, and there's a big rectangle of sunlight on your body. You wake up because of the smell of cooking.
Ooh.
Filling the room that you are in. All manner of breakfast foods that you could conceivably think of. You know, eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the breakfast foods. Just blended together in one delicious smell, and you can hear your stomach growling in your bones because your ear is slammed onto the pillow. You can feel it you feel it obviously, but it's like vibrating in your body, which it has awoken you because it's like, hey, we need to do this and you're really not good at being in charge. So we're going to take over. So it's time to get up and at 'em. What is, if you do?
Man, that's a mighty good smell. Shoot. Makes me remember living back home with my parents. My mom was a mighty good cook. Well, maybe she is too. I think she is. That soup was really good.
She's talking to herself. Oh, shit.
Are y'all kids out there? And she's gonna get up and like open the door.
Before you can do that, they like hear you walking. You hear one go, nope, and then you hear like pop, 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 like running away, and you hear from presumably far away, you guys, can you please just leave her alone?
Oh, it's all right, Meredith. I don't mind it at all.
Oh, you woke her up, guys. Come on.
No, your mighty good cooking woke me up. It smells great in here.
Oh, well, thanks. And you hear, like, other kids, you know, like, listening, doing one of these, like, back and forth to the conversation. You at like the top of the stairs or something? You open the door. You see like around the corner, like, you know, like when a kid was gonna run away and then they realized that you were gonna see them before they ran away, and so then they had to quickly pivot into, I don't care that you see me. I'm not worried. I'm not scared of you. You know, like post it up. You see like two girls looking unsure in the corner, just kind of standing there with their arms crossed.
Hey there. My name's Iferson. I don't know if you heard that big introduction that I made last night. What's y'all's names? got the confidence to tell me?
They like look at each other and they're like, yeah.
All right. My one ear is open.
I told you mine already.
Oh, are you Sana?
And she's like not gonna say yet. She's like looking around.
Oh, and who are you there?
She like goes behind Sana. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 16.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, I got a nat
Dang.
20 and a 12.
Oh snap! What the heck? She's you hear the other girl say, "She does look scary."
Oh, I know that scars and unique faces can look a little bit scary and all that, but, you know, anything can happen in this world. And something happened to me. Something happened to me while fighting for, you know, us to be able to live here and stuff like that. So, really, I mean, I made a choice to join that place, and this is the consequence that I got to deal with.
See, Leela, you're being a jerk. It's not nice to say.
Leah? Is that your name?
It's Leela.
Leela. That's a pretty name. Sana and Leela. That's like a good duo if I've ever heard one.
We're twins.
Oh, really? Sorry, I can't see all that well, so it's a little bit hard to tell when people are twins or what they look like at all, really.
They like open their eyes and they look at each other and they're just like, man, we are jerks. Judging books by covers and all that.
Well, did y'all thank your mama for this mighty fine breakfast she seems to be cooking?
They're like looking at the ground and looking at you, and they're just like, we just wanted to let you know
Right.
that someone's gonna be maybe a bit angry.
Who's gonna be angry?
I don't know, but just don't. We just wanted to warn you because you seem nice.
All right. You know, I've had a lot of people be angry with me. I've tried to convince people of a way of life that maybe they don't believe in, and, you know, comes with the territory of people being upset that you're shaking their worldview. So I'm pretty used to people being upset.
Girls, what meal is this? Breakfast? I'm so tired. Is ready. And they're gonna like kind of like look at each other and then like go down the stairs, and then Sana, without looking at you, reaches back and grabs your hand and is just like pulling you down the stairs.
Yeah, I follow.
So, yeah, they're like I follow. They're like 12 or something.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're like you know, like pajamas that are matching.
Yeah.
The shirts are switched.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're like very like they're like big and small at the same time, like fully ill-fitting,
Yeah.
but like warm, and what, you know, that like big socks that are flopping all over the place and stuff, like tripping on them as they kind of like pull you down the stairs. And you hear the door to the kitchen is open. There's no door. It's just like it's like you see the hinges, like, but they're just like, why have a door?
Yeah.
And you kind of roll a perception check real quick.
6.
6?
Yeah. Look, I can only have such a good streak of seeing well.
That's true. This is hearing well. As you go down this like staircase, it like becomes clear. There's like a couple kids. You can kind of hear in the offing like a couple of them like being like, "That's my shirt.
Oh yeah.
What makes you think you tight?" And then like another one being like, "I only have one that fits me, and it smells." Like you hear that conversation, and then you hear just like the sound of someone being tackled like into some blocks. It's not nice, and then like you hear just like stamping of Meredith being, "Everybody, it's breakfast time. Like, just stop fighting. You're only fighting because you're hungry. Okay, I slave it away. You know, that type of thing." And so you hear that like as you kind of go down the staircase, and then right before you, because that's kind of going on in the background, you hear as you like approach the kitchen, just a voice go, "I call dibs, Kate. It's not fair. She gets that room. It's not like she's gonna be there forever. But I called the dibs. It's not fair. He has his own room. It's not even that like type of conversation." And as you come into eye shot, ear, eyeball, they can see you. Everyone who is you see, basically what you see is Leela is kind of in front of Sana. Sana has your hand. They're dragging you down the stairs. There's 2 empty seats on the left side, and then there's right next to each other, and then there's 2 empty seats on the another around this table. This is the table that you were sat at when you had dinner the previous night. You see around this table so many kids.
Yeah.
There are 12 seats. 4 are empty.
Okay.
And you heard the conversation of kids, yelling and stuff like that, it was all kind of happening. It was like around you. But there were kids kind of passing you as you were going, down the stairs, like running past you guys to get to the breakfast table. So you see like one kid sit down, rather you see Leela sit down, and then Sana's going to sit down right next to her. So there's 2 empty seats now.
Yeah.
Around this table are just like the obviously the kids you'd seen last night. The little girl who was crying on the stairs.
Yeah.
And then kids who are like you like vaguely are picking them out. And they all were, there's food that is being put, had been, there's like space still for additional food, but food is put on the table. And there are kids with, bread and apples and orange, whatever, eggs, whatever the heck on their plate. And it is like the moment you walked in, they were all like leaning over the table, talking, eating, doing whatever the heck. And the moment you walked in, they have like hands full of food. They pause to like stare up at you, and the only thing that's moving is Leela and Sana, who has your hand. And as you walk into the room, they fully just sit up and like turn and look at you.
Good morning.
They like look at you, back at you, and Mom goes, "Oh look, our guest is here. All right, now we can have breakfast." Why does everybody look, I don't know, not hungry all of a sudden? And she's gonna like put down more of the food that she had, and it's like weird stuff. Like when you have the wrong ingredients for something, she's like, "Well, I want to make scrambled eggs. I have cold spaghetti and pumpkin."
Ma'am, I think this is mighty fine. Something that bothers me a lot? It's the fact that people want to put categories on the type of food that you can eat at what type of day, Breakfast food is just breakfast food if I'm eating it because I'm breaking my fast. Ain't that what it is, right? So if I want to go into a tavern and I order, and she looks at the table, spaghetti, and they're going to tell me that, oh, that's only a dinner option. What do you mean? Food is food. Who's making these choices for me? I want to make these choices for myself. You know what I'm talking about?
Do you want to live here? I could really use some positive affirmations. What are you talking about, Mom? We affirm you positively all the time. Yeah, you sure do. Anyway, so here's the
Here, she's going to look at that kid. Give me your best positive affirmation right now.
Your eyes look like the moon.
That's mighty fine.
And she's gonna like laugh and like clap her hands and stuff. And Meredith is gonna like give everyone the like my family kind of like mom look.
Yeah.
And she's gonna like gesture to you to a chair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit.
And she's gonna go sit in like there's like a rocking chair in like the corner of the room with her like coffee.
Yeah.
And roll a perception check.
12.
She probably just wants to sit over there. There's an empty chair. Maybe she just wants to sit in the rocking chair.
Okay.
You like notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she's like over there and stuff. And you see there's like kids that are like you do you sit down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you sit down, you see like the kids are kind of like looking at you. And there's one kid that is not super feeling it.
Yeah.
Feeling your vibe. Just kind of like, he's directly across from you and he's just like staring at you.
Now, I was told that somebody might get mad at me. Is that somebody here right now, or are they going to be showing up?
Sona, what do you think you're doing? It's not fair if you're mean to her. Mom just brought her here. You don't have to be mean to her.
Honey, are you the one that's mad at me?
So stupid. Oh, and he's gonna like stand up and like storm off. Like he's just like stands in the corner and like puts his like arms folded.
I'm a firm believer that words will take you a long distance. So if you want to choose to use your words, I think that's the best route. But honestly, the world's your oyster. You could choose whatever it is you want to do. So if you want to stay mad, you can stay mad.
It's just because he misses Mish. And so when she says that, he's gonna like turn around, and in his hand he had a handful of spaghetti. And when she says that, he turns around and just throws it at her as hard as she can.
I'm gonna try to. I know that this is a little physics denying. I'm gonna try to stick my hand out and catch it.
Catch a handful of spaghetti? Okay, dude.
All right.
I feel like I'm going to make you roll disadvantage. I'm definitely making you roll disadvantage. What even is this? Yeah! What do you mean? Oh. We will do this in real life. I'm going to catch a handful of spaghetti.
Well, I'm a monk of the open hand technique.
Of the spaghetti hand technique. What
all right.
technique?
Can it be acrobatics? Or maybe like acrobatics?
Acrobatics. No. It could be performance.
Okay. 7.
Cool. So you put your hand out to grab this spaghetti out of the air. And you got a big hand.
Yeah. So
what happens is a couple noodles kind of wrap themselves around your fingers.
Yeah.
You just so happen to have some of your hand in the right place that happens. But most of it doesn't even meet its target anyway. Like, Sana gets a noodle to the forehead.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is just on the table. And the moment after he frickin' throws this handful of spaghetti, Sana's gonna go, Mom! And she's gonna, like, rake her fingers, like, over her face.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, Ekthu, can you please drop it, okay? I get it. You're upset. Can we all just drop this whole conversation? Look, try to have a nice breakfast with our new friend, okay, right? Can we do that, please? And he's gonna, lower lip stick out,
Yeah.
And he's gonna,
I'm gonna turn to Sana, and kind of just, whisper to her and be like, look, he just fed you breakfast. I mean, that's all that I saw. It's already near your face. And she's going to take, the stuff that's on her hand and just kind of put it in her mouth and be like, it's delicious, ain't it? I mean, being flavored with the air.
Sana's about it. I rolled for it. She's going to, look at you, and at first she's looking at you like, what the heck? And then she's like, wait a minute. I'm 12. I'm all about this. And she's gonna take the noodle off of her forehead and just eat it and give you kind of is this what you meant?
And Iferson's gonna give her a wink and kind of shake her head yeah, you got it. And
girls, listen, I get it, but table manners, please. Forks and knives, okay?
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
I don't, you don't need to act like you're raised by wolves, at least. And then she's gonna it's quiet for a minute. There's the sounds of general breakfast have returned of eating. It's there are conversations so I took the wheel of the car and I replaced it with there's the other car and I think it may go faster. And then this other kid going, no, that's not how that works. I know lots about cars and that's not how that works. And then just kids that are just there's a caterpillar that I saw the other day.
Have y'all ever eaten a caterpillar before?
Eating a caterpillar? Gross. Ooh,
I've eaten a bunch of bugs before. You want to hear the list of them?
No, we don't want to hear that. And they're like doing like the kid where they just fully like, bleh,
Yeah.
like fully stick their tongue out, and mom is like, I too would not like to hear it.
All
Please,
right. I
thank you."
mean, it's a mighty big list.
Well, listen, it's funny. I had a question about you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And she's gonna like turn her body towards you, and she's like, Summer Eldrin
Right.
and
Human.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So where are you from?
Oh, well, I'm kind of from everywhere, but I lived in the Toadsfroth clan. Have you ever heard of the town West Virginia?
Yeah, the clan. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. Yeah, I recognized your accent. I mean, I saw all the some Eldrin earmarks,
Right.
and
Wait, are you human too?
yeah.
Yeah.
You, where you grow up there? I mean, you have the accent.
Well, I grew up there until I was about like 10, and then we moved more towards the Talanthe region, away from the Toad's Froth, and I lived in the quarry for a while, and then my parents set up a bakery and stuff like that, and then when I was like 19, when the war started, and then I left when the war started because I joined right once it started.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. And she's roll a perception check.
Okay. Man, a campaign where perception is really important. Unnatural 20.
Wow.
And then also a nat 20.
Wow. What the heck? You hear, like, you can see that she's like, let's talk about something that isn't that, like, type of vibes coming out from her body.
Oh, I know that people get mighty uncomfortable when I mention the war and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I'm just telling you, that's why I'm here.
You hear sniffling.
I'm gonna look over.
You see, like, one of the kids fully had stood up and left.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, well, listen, you didn't know. It's okay.
I'm mighty sorry about that.
No, you're fine. And she's like gonna get up and rush off in the direction of this kid.
Yeah.
Who, and by the way, is the kid who got through the spaghetti.
Oh no.
Yeah, troubled soul. Yeah. So now you're like.
I'm gonna follow her.
Oh really?
Yeah.
All the kids like are looking at each other, like looking at you and being like, and then like looking at that, and then looking at the food and being like, well. Apple time. So cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get up and follow them. And so
what was that kid's name again?
Ekthu. You can hear as you kind of approach just the first room that this kid like ducked into. You can kind of hear her be like, "It's okay, sweetie, don't worry, it's okay. Listen, she didn't know, and so we gotta give each other some space to learn about other people, and she doesn't even know what she is really, what this is, so just it's okay." And you just hear like sad child sounds.
She's gonna walk in and be like, "Hey honey, your name's Ekthu, right?"
He's gonna like look up at you like you are a Pikachu.
Yeah.
He's like, what the heck?
Honey, I have no intentions of replacing your family or becoming a part of it or anything like that. So you don't need to worry about that. I know that from what I've heard, you miss this Mish fellow, which I guess is where I was sleeping. I'm going to be heading out today, so you won't have to deal with me all that much longer. But I do just want to say I'm mighty sorry about bringing up what I brought up. I know that a lot of people have a lot of different experiences. A lot of people can choose a lot of things in this life, and then it affects the other people around them. And that's the one consequence that you can never quite avoid. No matter what you choose, you're going to affect somebody in your life. And I can see that you got mighty affected by what people chose to do in this world and chose to force other people to do. The ones who started this war or that war, they had no regards for the people that it was going to affect. And now you're going to have to deal with that. And I would say that you're doing mighty fine. You got a good family that loves you. And the fact that you have somebody that you miss is a good sign in your life that you have persevered.
Meredith is gonna kind of like look at him and give him like the "you get all that, kid" kind of like eyebrows, and then she's gonna look up at you and be like, it's like super awkward and lost on you. She's like, "Got it, cool. Give me like 5 minutes with this kid."
Yeah, and she's gonna back out, and I think that she's gonna kind of hang out by the front door. She's like, I'm gonna leave soon, but I'm gonna tell Meredith that I'm leaving.
And so when you kind of walk by the front door, you see there's like this piece of furniture. It's like cubby holes and stuff, and you see all the kids' names. Don't make me say them. And there are you see Ekthu, you see Sana and Leela. You see the names that I already said. And you see one for Mish as well. You see one that just says "mom" on it, and then you see one that is super like the one that says "mom." There's like shoes in there, you know, like outdoor clothes, just like general stuff, like put my stuff here when I come home, you know, like gloves and stuff like that. The one that says Mish is empty. And the one that says "mom" has like shoved in it her adult coat and stuff that you recognize from last night. And the one that says Daniel has just like a perfectly, the rest is your clothing just shoved in there. There's like so many clothes. It's like immaculately folded, like crisp edges. Jacket, scarf, and then a pair of boots. And they're completely dusty. Like, completely covered in dust.
Can I make an insight check on that?
Yeah.
27.
Wow. That's a name that you saw somewhere else last night. You were too fully blasted to pick up on it. But it was on the mantle. It was right next to where Meredith had put down her tea when she picked it up. It kind of like revealed it as she picked it up. And it was a stone heart. It was like made out of stone.
Yeah.
And it had the name Daniel written on it.
All right.
And it you feel certain that you don't recall seeing that name anywhere else. And you don't recall anyone mentioning the name. It's just those two pieces of information that you're aware of this person. But it does strike you as interesting that this Mish person is gone. And presumably also these are the clothings of an adult man. Yeah. Like the boots and jacket and everything of an adult man. The Mish cubby's completely empty. The clothing that you had found in that room was also the clothing of an adult man. Yeah. Like that, about that size. You know that Misha's a guy because that has been made evident to you. And these clothes, but those clothes were very like, you know, kind of random, just like underclothes or whatever. Yeah. This is like a nice coat and a nice pair of boots and things of that nature, and just completely covered in dust. And the inside of the cubby is all completely dusty too. Okay.
I think that Iferson kind of connects some things in her mind. It's like, takes a deep breath, and she's like, well, I guess that does happen. And waits for Meredith to be less occupied.
You gotta hear like noises of kids like finishing, and you hear like plates scraping and stuff. And she's like, okay, so dishes, anybody dishes? Okay, pick a number. And you hear 1, 3, 4, like whatever.
Yeah.
And she's just like, it was 4. Okay, so Leela, you got dishes today. Everybody else, get out of my sight. She's like, disperse.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, sweetie, where's our new tall scary friend? And you hear a voice go, she's at the front door. And she's like, oh, okay, well, okay. And she's gonna, like, you hear her walking towards you, and she's, like, cocked head, kind of, just being like, everything okay? Sorry about that. Kids are sensitive sometimes.
Nah, you're fine. Y'all lost somebody from that, didn't you? I'm assuming maybe, was this Daniel fellow?
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
What's your high one?
Insight?
Roll insight.
12.
She might have some summer eladrin in her after all. Because all of a sudden her cheeks are very flushed. And the area around her eyes is very red. And you can kind of see that rising in her face as you say this person's name. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, we don't have to discuss that, but yeah. So,
well, I'm mighty sorry about that.
It's fine.
I tried my best to save as many as I could. And sometimes I wasn't so lucky.
I don't want to discuss it.
All right. Well, I appreciate everything that you've done for me today and last night. I'm going to head on out, though.
Okay, well, and she's going to take her, like, corner of her palm and kind of, like, give her one of her eyes just, like, a little wipe. And she kind of regains her former way about her.
Yeah.
And she's going to, like, kind of move towards you in an apologetic way. And she's gonna be like, listen, I mean it. I get it. You're a free thinker, free spirit. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to do anything or tie you down or whatever. But just like last night, if you're ever in a situation where you need some place,
right,
just a place to stay, our door's always open. Okay, don't let people's kids. Their kids. They gotta learn about the world and stuff.
Oh, honey, I don't care what people think about me.
Oh yeah, I suppose Well, either way, listen. But what I mean is this. She's gonna like kind of step a little closer to you and be like, some of these kids, they don't want to be found. Okay?
Right.
By the people looking for them. So, if you ever don't want to be found, if you're ever in a situation like that, okay, you can always come here. You seem like the type of lady who would get into trouble every once in a while.
Oh, well, makes life a little bit more interesting.
Well,
I appreciate it. Maybe I'll come and visit just for dinner sometime. It seems like a mighty fun house to be around.
Yeah, well, most of the kids would like that, I think.
I'll warm up the other ones to me.
Yeah, well, it was good meeting you.
It was good meeting you, too. Y'all have a nice day now.
You can tell that I'm not going to make you roll for this. Every motherly instinct on her body is like, she is restraining them to give you a hug.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see her just be like, I want to.
Oh, honey, it's fine. And she's gonna, like, go in and hug her.
Okay.
Yeah.
She, like, wraps up. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm just worried
you don't gotta
about
be sorry
you.
about that.
Well, okay. Just be safe. No more sleeping outside alone in the wintertime, please.
Well.
Great, it's decided, and she's gonna, like, open the door.
Yeah.
And you kind of, like, walk out in that direction, and you turn around, and you see, Sana and Leela at the top of the stairs, like, peeking, because you're low relative to them, like, peeking so you can see them in the doorway and just, like, waving their little hands.
Iferson's gonna wave back.
Yeah, Meredith looks back, and she's like, I listen. I know of 2 customers who'd be happy to see you again. So.
Well, I made 3 new friends, so maybe I'll get some better interesting stories than just the bugs I've eaten and come back and tell them to them.
Sounds great. she's gonna like give you like a little nod and like stick your hand out. Do you ever come back to stay again?
I think occasionally, like maybe once or twice a month, Iferson would go back and have dinner or, breakfast or whatever, and just kind of show up and have like some new story to be like, I'm not allowed at a tavern at the south end of town now, because, I had this thought that glass is breakable, right? And
yes, so I've heard.
Right. And I've always wondered what it would sound like if a ton of stuff broke at once.
Okay, Ekfu, cover your ears, okay? Yep,
And you know how
she gets up, starts shutting cabinets.
You know how they like have those walls of just all the liquor and drinks and stuff that they got?
No.
Oh, well, they do. They got like, behind the bar, they got a lot of like different glasses and bottles and stuff of all
Mom
these
has
things.
a cabinet like that. Okay, so anyway.
Well,
this is great.
Anyway,
for
long
me.
story short, I knocked all of it down just to hear the sound of it, and well, I can't pay it off, so I'm just not allowed back in there. Well, technically, they're looking for me, but
well, you came to the right place or not. Listen, kids. There's a moral of the story. What's that? Smash.
You've got free will and the choice to make any choice
Smash
you
all
can.
the glass. No. If you please. Okay, this has been lovely. I think it's time to go to bed. And that's very much the vibe.
Yeah.
Roll one last perception check.
Okay. 8.
It's mostly just been you, having dinner with Meredith and all the kids and stuff. And there's always an empty chair, but you don't always stay in the same room.
Okay.
And when you stay there, sometimes it's different. Slightly. Sometimes you stay in a room with just the kids.
Yeah.
And then you hear tell of Mish being somewhere. You hear of him being near or something. Or you see something in the cubby that is his. But you're just passing each other. It seems. But the Daniel cubby remains always the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So that was a really good night's sleep you got that first time, though. It was great. 17 out of 20. This night's sleep was shaping up to be maybe a little trash.
No, I think it was going to be better than that.
No, I think it was going to be bad. What are you sleeping in? What were you sleeping in before you awoke?
Just in like empty, like wooden crates that just get like abandoned.
Wooden crates is sleep. Okay, sure.
With like straw on the ground.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. So exactly. You were gonna have a rough night. You're gonna wake up all achy, but not realize it because you're not you and you're not there. You'd be like, that's part of it.
That's part of it.
Part of the experience.
It's an experience. I'm toughening up my body.
Cool. So you are.
But I'm like on a upper level. Like there's like a.
Yeah. And you, so that was what instead of the smell of delicious spaghetti cooking in the morning, pumpkin spaghetti cooking in the morning, you smell the smells of warehouse, and you hear the sounds of, what it is evident to you that they are high elves because of their fancy schmancy voice. Say, search the warehouse. And as you walk over, there's sort of like a balcony type situation. This is like the upper level survey my various wares in the house situation. You make your way around the corner. And how well can you see out of your non-marred eyeball?
Oh, well, I have superior dark vision. in that one eye, so I can see great.
Okay. So as you come around the corner, you hear, you heard a lot of like struggle noises. And you see two figures that are in the middle of the room. There's like a support beam for the warehouse in the center. And you can see one of the, you've seen many a high elf soldier. These do not look like them.
Okay.
Fully they are dressed in black. You know that they're high elves.
Okay.
But because of the voice, but they're fully dressed in black, and looking very rogue-like.
Okay.
As it were. One of them is in the background, just starting to go into one of the kind of side rooms.
Yeah.
And start checking things out, looking very, determined.
Okay.
Got a knife in one hand situation. The other one in the center of the room is just finishing tying what appears to be a relatively elaborate knot in the wrist restraint of a character who is all dressed in black, looking pretty sharp for to be, tied up.
Okay, the person tied up is all dressed in black, and
you can just see behind some, you can see like nice fabric, even just from where you are. You can see what
I forgot that they dressed up for the ball.
They dressed up for the ball, yeah. You can tell even from where you are, it's not like, the outfit of someone who's being tied up.
Yeah.
It's the outfit of a snappy dresser. And you can see, though, contrasted heavily with that is a bright red shirt that is underneath this sort of jacket affair, like black jacket situation. And you can see peeking out behind some shaggy dark brown bangs the faintest glimpse of a blue complexion. And hands that are like a bluish white.
And do I see elf ears on that face?
On that, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's
because she wants to.
out.
Yeah, she wants to be like, is this also an elf? All right.
Yeah. Well, you see the ears of a whatever freaking.
Yeah, that's true.
You get it. I mean, they're elves technically. Yeah. You hear you see like this all dressed in black figure who is tying the hands behind the thing. I say, well, that should do it now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
So the last thing that Iferson heard was like search the building, right? Okay. She's gonna walk to the edge of the balcony and kind of lean over, and she's gonna be like, "Boys, I'm right up here. I'm not all that great at hiding, so I just figured I might as well come on out. Can you tell me what it is that y'all be doing up in here?"
You see immediately, like, it's like if you've ever if you're ever playing hide and seek, and the seeker is like, okay, I'm going to find, and there's like doing full peek mode, and then you just go behind them and go, hey, and they like fully turn and look at you. That's like what they do. They like freeze, like full Kronk mode, like fully frozen. Both of them at once, and you can see that the roll a perception check.
Okay. 9.
You're pretty focused on the two things that are moving.
Yeah.
To focus on the one thing that is tied up. You'll be all right for now, probably.
Yeah.
And so they're going to just fully round on you. And one of them goes, "Oh, bollocks." Getcha! And they start.
Wow, can we have a conversation first at least?
They're fully running at you. Roll initiative.
All right. 12.
Cool. So, they are far enough away from you. The first one is going to pull off his back. He's like making his way towards you, so he's going to use his 30 feet of movement, which isn't going to be close enough. You're 60 feet away of the first one. He's going to run up to you, and then he's going to pull out his long bow, and he is going to roll to hit. What's your AC?
16.
Okay, he hits.
All right, as my reaction, I'm going to do deflect missiles.
Oh, snap.
So you can use your reaction to deflect or catch the missile when you're hit by a ranged weapon attack. When you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your monk level.
Holy crap.
So 1d10 plus 2 plus 5. So 5, 6, 7. So 1d10 plus 7.
Okay.
And then if I reduce the damage to 0... I can catch the missile if it's small enough for me to hold in one hand, and if I catch the missile, I can spend a key point to make a ranged attack with the weapon as a part of the same reaction. And I make the attack with proficiency regardless of my weapon proficiencies, and the missile counts as a monk weapon for the attack. So, roll the damage.
Cool. It is 5. You rolled a 1.
Cool, so I'm already going to reduce the damage to 0.
Yep.
So I can catch this and make a ranged attack with proficiency.
Wow.
So I'm going to roll a hit. What's the typical plus for this?
Plus 7.
16.
That does not hit.
Okay.
Cool. So you throw it back at him and it misses?
Yeah.
Cool. So he uses his movement. He tries to shoot a thing at you. It doesn't work. So he's going to use extra attack, and he's going to shoot another arrow at you.
Okay.
Same deal. What's your thing?
16.
Okay, he fully whiffs
Okay.
this time. Just plink, and he got a 2. So 2 plus 7, 9. And it's going to, like, plink off of, like, a thing nearby you. And he's gonna scream at you, "Who are you?"
Y'all are so quick to react. If we just had a conversation, then maybe you could have found that out. But I think that time's passed.
The second one is gonna run, is gonna use 30 feet of movement, and do the exact same thing. Gonna pull out his longbow, and he's going to shoot you twice.
Okay.
So first one is a 19.
All right.
He is gonna hit you for 12.
Yeah. Shit, man, that hurt.
And before you can do anything about it, he's going to shoot you again.
Mm-hmm.
13 plus 7 hits, and this time it does 6. Like that. Just fires off 2 real quick, runs after you, gets stationary, fires off 2.
Oh, jeez, man.
And is going to look at you and kind of like look at the other guy after you just took 2 arrows and be like... they just kind of give each other a look, and then they're gonna like look back at you, and they keep like running at you. And now it's your turn.
Okay. How close are they?
One of them is now 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
And the other one is they just used 30 feet of movement, so now they're 60 feet away from you.
Okay. Cool. So I have a speed of 40, so I'm gonna take 30 movement, to move towards the one that's 30 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And I have extra attack, and then I also have key points, and I can use flurry of blows.
Yeah, I could use Fursona.
Yeah.
Dress up as a rabbit.
Immediately after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Wow.
So not only do I have extra attack, so I can already attack twice, I can use flurry of blows for the 2 extra attacks, but also I inherently get an unarmed strike as bonus action. So does that mean that I can use that as well, or are you going to rule that flurry of blows replaces that?
I think flurry of blows replaces that.
Cool. So I'm going to...
Cool. That's fine.
So I'm going to attack with my quarterstaff first, and I'll do the 2 attacks first, and then I'll do flurry of blows to take the 2 more extra attacks, because those are unarmed, so they're going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So first one, 10, doesn't hit. And then the second one doesn't hit also. Man, I'm doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now flurry of blows. Roll 19.
That hits.
Okay. Okay, so I rolled d6 and place a normal damage. So I'm going to roll d6, and then I add my proficiency bonus and my strength modifier. 6 plus 5, so 9.
Okay.
No, 11.
11, yeah.
And then my second unarmed attack, nat 20. I'm better at fighting with my hands than I am with weapons, apparently.
Guess so. All right. Double damage, baby.
18.
18 doubled or 18 total?
18 total.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you go to do these 2 strikes at first, and the guy sees you fully just run at him. He sees you coming, and he has time to kind of be like, okay,
Yeah.
and you're like out of the way with your first 2 strikes. The second one, he's not ready for you to like just go unarmed.
Yeah.
And he fully like you switch just to unarmed strikes, and you just uppercut him real fast in the like solar plexus, like fully not ready for the second one, and then you just whip back and just punch him square on the jaw. Just like spits out a mouthful of blood. And he like looks at you and he goes, "What are you?" And like wipes the blood off of his mouth.
My name's Iferson. What's yours?
And he's gonna shake his head a little bit, and he's gonna come back at you.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And he's going to use one of his maneuvers. He's going to attack, and he is going to add a precision attack. So he gets he's gonna add a D8 to whatever damage. See if he hits. 19.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So he is going to use his short sword. Which is a 1d6 plus 4. 10 plus 4 is 14.
Okay, so 14 damage.
Yeah, so he he got like his second one. As he wiped the blood off his face, he used that to grab his short sword, and he just like buried it into one of your arms, just like pulled back.
Ah, shit, man. Y'all gonna scar me up some more?
You have quite a potty mouth. And then he's going to use his extra attack. He does get another maneuver for attack, so he's going to expend another superiority die. He's going to add that to this roll, do another precision attack. So
Okay.
he hits 9 plus 7, 16.
All right, beats it.
Okay, cool. So same deal. And 9 plus 4, so 13.
Good lord.
Yeah, so same thing. He's gonna he gets you good shink across the arm, and then he's just gonna come back again with another stab right across your chest.
Cool. All right.
And so
Iferson might die right away.
Can I ask what you're at? You know,
18.
tell me. You're at 18 hit
Yep.
points? Yowza, dude. He's gonna he is not going to move. He's just gonna after his attack, he's just gets back in his fighting stance and gets ready for the next turn. Luckily for you, the other guy is still meaningfully far. The other guy is still 60 feet away from you, so he's gonna use his 30 feet of movement to get 30 feet closer. So now he's 30 feet away. He's gonna pull out his long bow and he's gonna do an attack.
Cool. I'm gonna take my reaction to deflect missiles again.
Okay. 15, so
Nope.
doesn't hit,
Okay.
right? Okay, cool. So he's gonna use extra attack to hit again.
Okay.
15 again.
Okay, sick. So I don't use it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's got other stuff to do. So he gets 30 feet closer. He pulls out. He's got the longbow. It goes, and they just whistle right past your head.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who's right in the fray with you hears also the arrows go past his head. And he's like, "Be careful."
I'd mighty appreciate if you weren't so careful.
And he's gonna. That's gonna end his turn. Now it's your turn again.
I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds at a 2nd level spell slot. Gonna roll for that. It's a roll to hit, and if I hit, he takes 4d10 necrotic damage.
Are you trying to hit the one that was in your face?
Yeah, because it's a melee spell attack,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got reach.
Cool.
Oh, dude, my bad. I forgot. When I hit a creature with one of my attacks granted by my flurry of blows, which I did, you can impose one of the following effects. So either it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. It must make a strength saving throw. If it fails, you can push it up to 15 feet away from you, or it can't take reaction until the end of your next turn. I would like for it to succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay, we can do that, and it'll be like a Bruce Lee 1-inch punch thing where he punches you, and then a minute later you're like, ugh,
Yeah.
fly across the room.
Dexterity saving throw, my key save DC is 16.
Okay, well these are rogues, so 20.
Okay, well,
21.
great. So
Cool.
doesn't matter then.
Yep.
Cool. So I rolled a 10 for that. So nothing happens. But I am gonna take my bonus action to make an unarmed strike. 18.
To hit?
Yep.
Meets a beats it.
Sweet. So 10.
Okay. So you hit him for 10 damage?
Yep.
Okay. So what are you aiming for, like, when you go to do this attack?
I think that she kind of like leans back a little bit and whips her freaking leg out like she's kicking him. And she's gonna kick him just straight in the ribs.
Cool. So, as you try to use your spell, so you fling this friggin' potion at him, and he whiffs, and he's like,
Yeah.
like just ducks underneath, and as he comes down, your heel just shoots up and it hits him in the face.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty hurt.
Great.
He's still
Yeah.
up and moving. You don't have like a heal you could whip out real quick, cleric?
I mean, not right now. Because I used my action, my bonus action.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that there's no reaction.
If she dies, she had a cool scene.
Nah, there's nothing I can do.
Does that end your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he is going to reassert his grip on his short sword, and he is going to do 2 more attacks.
All right.
17.
Okay,
So
17
the second one
hits.
is going to hit, and he has a superiority die. He has 2 left. He's going to add that to the damage.
Shit, man. Yeah, I'm gonna die, I think.
He rolled a 3.
Oh, okay.
So
So
you got-
3 in total?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like 3 for oh, well, I forget it gets plus. He hits you for 10.
All right.
So, he is bloodied. That's you, right? You're done, right?
Mm-mm.
Wait, I thought you only had 5 hit points left.
I had 18.
Oh, where the heck he has 5. Well, now you know that. Okay, great. Awesome. So, he slashes across you one more time. With that precision attack, it freaking doesn't do him a whole heck of a lot of good, because he only got a 3 for it. But he does get a, what's class feature? He's gonna use Second Wind, which allows him to regain 1d10 plus 5 HP.
Okay.
So he's gonna do that. He regains 15.
Wow.
Yep. So he is going to one more time get you for some crap, just kind of lose his resolve. He's gonna like step back a little bit, and he's going to use Second Wind, and then he is going to end his turn.
Okay.
And now guy number 2 is finally within 30 feet. And as
He was 60 feet away last time, right? So now he's 30 feet away?
He was 60. He ran up 30, so he was at 30. So now he's closed the distance.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to run up to you and going to use a cantrip. He's going to use poison spray, which is within 10 feet. You must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or take 2d12 poison damage.
Okay.
Don't damage made if save.
All right. What do I have to save?
DC 10.
Oh, okay. 10 exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, it like barely misses you. This
Yeah.
like thing that he throws at you. The freaking bottle of poison just whiffs like past your head.
Right.
And is a cantrip.
That counts as an action.
That's an
right?
action.
Yeah.
Well, I said it. I was like, okay, you can do that. Andy can attack. I
Well,
guess not.
actually, does poison spray say that you could use that as a bonus action? Do you want me to look it up?
Nope. It says a ranged spell attack.
Okay. Yep.
It
So
says
that's an
a bonus
action.
Okay, cool. He's going to use his action surge, so he gets an extra action.
Mhm.
He is going to use a first superiority die. 8 plus 7 doesn't hit, right?
Yeah, it doesn't hit. 15.
Okay. He would have used 1 superiority die, and I'm a man of my word, so that's gone. And he's gonna hit again because he gets extra attack. Because
does extra attack count?
I looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's gonna use a maneuver with that as well. 11 plus 7, so 18.
Okay.
So he's gonna roll a, what is it? I've done it so many other times. Short sword. 1d6 plus 4 plus 8. You have 10 hit points?
Yeah, I do.
He got 8.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Wow, dude. All right, that's his second superiority die. And he is going to really, like, you're sucking right now.
Yeah, I am.
Wow. He like really thinks he's gonna do you in with this one, and he stabs you real hard right next to your heart, just like right over to one side, and he pulls his short sword back and like looks at you with a look of like, wow, glad that's over. And
yeah, I ain't dead yet.
What does Iffy look like right now?
She is like wild-eyed. Her hair is never like up in anything, so it's like plastered to where the blood is and like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like fully in fighter stance, just like
I'm still kicking with my 2 hit points.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, it's your turn, Iffy.
I'm gonna use a 2nd level cure wounds on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I get 2d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which is plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
8, 2, 8, 9, 10, plus 4, 14 hit points back. I'm going to take the dash action. I'm going to spend a key point, which means that I move 2 times my speed. So, like, my speed plus it again.
Yeah. So 80 feet.
80 feet away, so I could put some distance between us. So that's another key point, because that's a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to be for now.
Okay, cool. You can move behind something, too, if you want to get out of the, like, bow ranged attack situation.
Yeah.
You fully can. It would take them a turn to move into a place where they could see you to hit you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool. So, when you do that, we'll say, are you just trying to, like, are you, like, just running into another room? Are you running back upstairs? Or, like, what's the deal?
Honestly, I kind of want to run towards the guy that they were tying up.
So they're between you and him, so you would be running towards, like, you're running past, because they're right up on you, right? So you're running past him the opposite direction. There's not really anything you could go behind over there.
Okay.
Because you're running into the open area.
Okay.
However, I will say, roll a history check.
All right. That one.
Really? Cool. You got your bell rung so freaking hard that you barely even remember that there's a guy in the middle of the room.
Okay.
You have no idea anything that went on before you walked into this room. And so the only thing on your mind is like, well, there's nothing to hide behind over here. You're like, it's literally the center of the empty warehouse room. There's like general kind of crap, but it's like not something that you could hide really behind. Well, I guess you could. Yeah, I guess I was thinking
you
bullets.
could get like partial cover.
Yeah, I was thinking
like that,
bullets. There's like a big thing in the middle, but all of the kind of like things you could hide behind are against like far walls and stuff like that. I mean, I guess you're doing 80 feet. So yeah, you can get, if you go in the direction of illusion, you can get partial cover, so they'll roll with disadvantage. If you run upstairs, you get full cover.
I'll do partial cover.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna run generally in that direction. Are you trying to? Because right now, Lucian is. Let me do my math right. Lucian is 30 feet away from your current position, so you're going to be running.
Can I do an interact with object? And like, this is shenanigansy, so you can tell me no.
Yeah.
How is he tied up?
He's tied by the hands behind the center beam. You watch them tie his hands together.
Behind the center beam?
Yeah, so his back is to the center beam, and his hands are tied behind it so that he is attached by the beam.
Cool. Could I interact with the object and like see if I can slice whatever is like tying his hands up?
Yeah.
Cool.
For sure.
Okay.
I don't freaking care. If you're using your action as dash, you still get an interaction with object. So you can literally...
Well, you get interact with object no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you can run past him and then like keep running.
I think as I do that, I'm like, if you want to, you can help me here because I think I'm fucking up right now.
Okay, cool. So this went wrong. This went sideways. So you blow the. So this is what's going on right now between you and this beam with this guy tied up in it. Look, hey, I want you to know, if my like feet don't work out exactly, I don't care. This theater of the mind, baby. You know, like the amount of feet or whatever. Like, literally,
we don't got a map.
Please, we really don't. I didn't draw one. This is all coming out of my mouth, and my brain and mouth are connected occasionally. And so, so you are there. There are two guys in front of you that are absolutely eating your freaking lunch. They are. One of them is fine, and the other one was going to die. And so you're getting goofed up. You know, you do your thing. You look at them. They look at you, and you dive in between them. Well, actually, they would get opportunity attacks if you run past them.
Well, I can move 80 feet, right?
Yeah.
Can I make a wide berth around him?
Yeah, but you can't. You could, if you did that, you could arrive at Lucian.
But stepping out of their attack range causes
the distance to be less. So
then instead of dash, because I'm just trying to get to Lucian, I'll do a disengage. So they won't get opportunity attacks on me.
But you can make it to Lucian.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can only see his hands and kind of like a lulled head to the side, which would be worrying if you weren't maybe in equal amounts of danger. So you fully disengage. So you're like, it's just like you drop your guard and just dive in between these two guys, and they kind of look at each other all of a sudden. They were looking at you, and then you were between them, and then you're running past them. And you are absolutely, full Usain Bolt, 6'4", booking it like. Yeah,
and my normal movement is still 40 feet.
Yeah,
so I can still move out of range from them. Even if they move 30 feet towards me, they're still 10 feet away that they can't make a melee attack. That's true, yeah.
And so as you go in that direction, you're going to use your interact with object to slice the rope. Yeah. What is holding this individual's tied behind his back hands together. Wow. Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand just to see what that's going to look like for our boy.
Oh, cut his freaking hand open. 9.
Okay, cool. So you're running and life is hard, but you have a good view of your mark. All you have to do is get the thing in between, because it's like a whole rope around the pole. Yeah. So it's not like you have to cut it, or actually it's not true. No, it's just around his wrists. Let me think about this. So you actually kind of have to do a good job with this. And so you get the tip of the sword just right under the top thing, and you slice through it. You just keep running. You don't have the opportunity because you're moving 10 feet past him. And you can, if you move behind the pole relative to them, they'll have to move, and then they won't have partial cover anymore. But I'll let you get behind something for partial cover, because you're not moving 80 feet. You're going to be out in the open. Okay. But they're going to only be able to hit you with arrows. Yeah. So, and you keep running in that the way you were going to get 10 feet past them, past that 30-foot range. And do you kind of turn to look in the direction of Lucian at all? Yeah. Just to be I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah. So, when you get to that range, and you kind of turn to look over your shoulder, before your eyes your head turns fully, you bring the arm up that sliced through the rope, the dagger, and it catches your eyes that as you pull your hand up, there's blood on the tip of the dagger. Shoot. And when you turn back to look, you are looking at for certainly this person is no longer alive. You have never seen you've seen a lot of dead people. This looks an awful lot like a dead person. The only indication that is not true is a sound coming from that direction. All right. As you ran past. And that piece of information makes contact with your brain. The moment you slit that rope, you hear someone go,
oh, okay.
The person is just, it's clearly from you now, you're 10 feet away, a winter Eldrin, who is just looking, it's still blue, but only at the very edges of his complexion, starting to turn a light pinkish, purplish color, and the typical kind of radiating cold that you feel was absolutely nowhere to be found. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 19.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
When you do that and there is a knife involved in anything having to do in that direction, you hear both of the guards go, "No!"
Okay.
Iferson, that's a good roll. They want him alive.
All right.
And that piece of evidence becomes very clear all at once.
I think that she's going to shout out and be like, if y'all don't stop right now, I'm going to throw something at him and kill him right now. I have no regards. I had a lot of practice killing people up in the war. I think I could get back up into it.
I'm going to throw something at him.
Well, you know, a friggin' potion.
An iffy thing. I'm hurt. I'm going to throw something at him.
him.
I'll throw a chair at him, kill him. They are going to look at does that end your turn? Is there anything else you want to do? You get that far, you are...
No, because there's nothing else I can do.
Okay, cool.
Interact with object, bonus action,
Yeah.
and speak.
They are 30 feet away and can get to Lucian before you can.
They're 40.
They're 40 feet from you.
Yeah.
They're
30 feet away from Lucian.
Yeah. So
I'm certain they want him alive.
It
seems as though that's what they want.
It seems as though that's what they want with your 19 perception check.
Yeah, I'm going to say that thing though.
They seemed concerned when it looked like maybe you were going for him.
Yeah.
With their no. That's how Iffy interprets that.
All right.
The first one is gonna make his way to Lucian, just fully running in that direction. And he's gonna use his interact with object, and he's just gonna grab him by the face, which is like sock tied around my head. Grab him by the face, and you can see from your 10 feet away his eyes like flutter up as he like looks him over, and he's gonna just drop his head, and it looks gross, like his head just like fully just like falls straight down, and he's gonna kind of like position himself in between you and Lucian, and he's 10 feet away. So it's so funny, like to like long bow.
Yeah, he would roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, to like that's the only thing he can hit you with. I'm double checking it real quick. Yeah, because poison spray is within 10 feet. Can you do anything that isn't that? Nope, he can't, and he's not gonna take out his longbow to hit you from 10 feet away. So he's just gonna stand in front of Lucian, who you don't know by name, and he's just gonna say, "Who are you?"
I'm just some random girl that just happened to be in here. Y'all refuse to have a conversation with me.
And the other guy is now going to run up, because they were literally next to each other, and do the exact same thing. He's going to run... No, he's not going to check and see if Lucian's alive. But he's going to run up in front of Lucian, and they're going to... Yeah, they're just going to get, like... Well, I'll say, like... I won't say this for this guy, because I didn't think to do it, but this next guy is going to use the dodge action, so you'll have disadvantage against rolls to hit against him. Cool. All right. And he's just going to stand in front of Lucian, and he's going to say, "If we keep this up, Freeth will be here soon." Your turn.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do Healing Word on me. It's a D4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, so I get 8 back, so 16 plus 8 is 24. I do that. I get that many hit points back. I'm going to close the distance on us, the 10 feet of distance. Okay. I'm gonna aim for the one that didn't take the dodge. It doesn't look like he's ready to dodge something.
Okay.
I am going to attack with my quarterstaff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack with my quarterstaff. I get the extra attack, so I can attack with that twice. Then I'm gonna spend a key point to get flurry of blows.
Okay. So the one that you're not attacking is going to use his reaction to, with a shield to cause its protection to cause a shield to cause a disadvantage on attacking a target against 5 feet. So the first hit will be disadvantage.
Just the first one?
Just the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one doesn't hit at all. Second one with the quarterstaff, 16 plus 6.
Okay, yeah, you hit.
So 1d6. Alright, he's gonna take 2 damage.
Okay.
And then my 2 flurry of blows attacks. I'm just gonna roll them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't hit. 18. So it does hit.
Okay.
An unarmed attack is strength plus proficiency plus d6, so plus 5. 11.
Oh, nice. And then I have to roll to see if I get knocked prone. Is that right? You have to expend
Yeah,
something.
so I'm gonna make a strength saving throw, and if it fails, I'm gonna push it. Well, if it gets knocked prone, it has to use its action to stand up, right?
Half your movement to stand up.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do the strength saving throw and push it 15 feet away.
Okay. Strength saving throw.
Yeah.
15. So he gets pushed 15 feet
Yeah.
backwards?
Yeah.
Okay, so he is now 15 feet away from Lucian
Okay.
on one side. It was a good idea for reasons that you don't know. Cool. All right, so the next one is going to... the one that you knocked back 15 feet is going to run forward up to you again, and he is going to extra attack you, so he's going to hit twice, and he's going to expend his last superiority die to add it to the first attack.
Okay.
I'm calling my attack 18 plus 7. It is 1d6 plus 4 plus a d8. Dang!
Oh no.
7.
Oh, okay.
I got a 1 on the d6 and a 2 on the d8. So
Thank God.
friggin' 7. That's his superiority die. He is, however, gonna hit you one more time.
Right.
Just straight. 13 plus 7 hits. D6 plus 4, 6. He gets a 10. So that second one is a 10. Cool. So he is back where he was in front of Lucian. He hits you those 2 times. Those are both of his attacks. And he is going to end his turn. The next guy is going to hit you. He is going to hit you twice.
Mm.
He's got that young extra attack. How many hit points do you have left?
7.
He hits you for 18 damage.
Okay.
When he hits you, he looks back at this other soldier that he's with, looking supremely goofed up.
Yeah.
He looks back at this person who you do not know, and he had fear in his eyes before, and when he sees you hit this friend, you're coming back at him, and he's on his last leg is what it looks like. He gains just a modicum of resolve, and he whips the sword in front of it and buries it deep into your chest. You can feel it. It felt like something that you felt before. Somewhere, you've been hurt badly before.
Yeah.
You feel it pierce your sternum and leave out of your spine, and you feel your body, all of the strength leave your body, and you're being supported by his one arm. And you're heavy. He drops you and pulls his sword out, and you're lying face up, staring into nothingness, just crumpled on the ground. Does Iffy say anything?
I think she just kind of laughs a little bit. Like, I think that she's just staring at the sky and laughing and thinking about how much time she spent in a place meant for killing in a war and didn't die. And now here in a warehouse, she's gonna die? Man. And I think that she's just like, Oh shoot. Just like tastes the blood in her mouth and just like, it's not great.
You're looking up at these two elves who are kind of standing over you. For why, you don't know. It is clear to you, I guess not to them, that you have no more fight left in you and that this is it. And you can feel your body, getting cold, but you can feel this warmth kind of pooling on your chest and just like sliding off of you. It's getting kind of blurry as you look up at them, and they're saying something, but you can't really understand what they're saying at this point. It just sounds like nothing. Someone talking to you from far away. And right before the light disappears from your eyes, you catch the eyes of the third figure that was in the room, who was looking at you from sort of a cockeyed, head lolled to the side, half-lidded, defeated kind of look. His posture looks defeated. And as the light kind of fades from your eyes, you see him looking at you. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 11.
You saw him before when the guy kind of turned his face to look at you. And when he did that, you basically saw nothing. You only really knew that he was alive because it's barely the motion that he made. You didn't see anything in his eyes that registered as awareness or understanding. But when you look at him as the light kind of fades from your eyes, you see him staring at you with intention and with meaning. And does that strike iffy in any kind of way?
I don't think so. I think that she is kind of like, maybe he's appreciative of the fact that I was hurting these fellas. Probably wants to too.
I'll roll to see if they keep hitting you.
Okay.
I'll roll for each one because Shay knows, even if he doesn't really understand, that there is a time constraint to their mission. Someone's on their way. Someone who is maybe concerned or confused about the location, that doesn't know whatever. Something needs to be secured before then. And the other component is that you're there. There might be another iffy. Maybe they don't want to waste their time killing the heck out of you when they're like, okay, she's dead. There's nothing more that can happen with her. I would say that that's a pretty good chance that they would be like, they wouldn't continuously stab you. I think that probably they would give you one. But I think that it in order for you to, it would automatically count as a failed death save and it's a crit. Yeah. They would have to hit you your whole hit point total. Is that not right? In order for you to die instantly from that one hit?
No. So what it counts as a failure, which means I have to make 3 failures to die and 3 successes to live.
Right.
So I would automatically have 1 failure.
Okay. I'm going to say that the DC for them hitting you one time is going to be 10. So, 10 or above, they hit you.
Okay.
Anything below that, they don't hit you once. It's a 6. Oh my God. So,
all right.
You hear muffled communication that you can't understand. Just whatever. Go ahead and roll your first one.
Okay. 15. That's a success.
Heck yeah, man.
8. That's a fail.
You hear now the sound of, you can feel still, even as everything is fading away from you, the sound of the ground rumbling. It rumbles a bit and then it stops.
Okay. Nat 20. That's 2 successes.
Oh, snap, so dude. So you're freaking, you're stabilized at, what is it, 1?
instantly gain 1 hit point and wake up from unconsciousness.
Oh snap, dude.
Yeah, so if I just had succeeded,
Mm-hmm.
I would become stable, which is still 0 hit points, and I'm no longer in danger of dying. But because I rolled a nat 20, I get 1 hit
Oh
point.
snap, and you wake the heck up too. What does it feel like, Iffy, waking up after this good time she's had?
I feel like all of the blood, like, you can feel it just, like, rushing from, like, her chest to every other, like, extremity of her body, and so she's just, like, filled with heat and, like, this rushing heat that's just, like, extending out from everywhere. And I think that she kind of blinks her eyes and she takes a big breath, but I think that she's like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm not awake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's gonna try to pull it off like she's still nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't know what's going on, and they think I'm dead, I think.
What was it? Was there a piece of something that Iffy held on to?
I think that she thinks, I get to choose when I die.
Ah! And it's not now.
And it's not now.
Nat 20. Cool. So, you feel kind of your senses returning to you as you begin to regain consciousness. And you have your eyes open, kind of glazed over in death, trying to play dead, basically. And you only have the one eye that works, and it's still a little bit hazy, and you can barely hear. It sounds like if you get hit in the head really hard, you hear that like one note type thing. Everything sounds very muffled, like underwater. But you see just a flicker of movement in front of you. And you hear the sound of just a piece of fabric just like whipping in the wind. You hear from a little bit past your feet. It sounds like a bag of sand hitting the ground. And you hear someone go, oof. And as you kind of regain your bearings and vision, you see that it is the person from earlier who had locked eyes with you while you were dying. He is with great difficulty basically crawling next to you. It's hard for you to tell at first what it is that he's doing, but he is moving towards you. You can see like one arm is just he's not using it at all. It's like dragging uselessly next to him. And the other arm he's on is like elbow, just making his way up towards you. And you can kind of hear, as your hearing returns more, kind of peripheral tapping of feet. It's hard for you to tell exactly where it's coming from, but it seems it's a large warehouse, which you know because you were sleeping in it. And if they're checking all the rooms in this warehouse, then they're checking rooms, you know, so they're reasonably far away. You can hear them calling out to each other, but you can't hear what they're saying. It could be anything, maybe something you would be able to tell, but not at the moment. And as you kind of lay there, you get all this information. He still has barely reached, like, just your feet. Is there anything you want to do?
Can I touch him at all?
You could touch him with your foot.
All right, that counts. I got an action and a bonus action that I could do something with.
Right.
Because I can touch him, a creature you touch, so I just have to be able to touch him. I'm going to cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on him. I think because literally out of spite. I think that she's just like, these people obviously don't like this guy, and he's gravely injured.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know. I think also she's very much like, this is kind of familiar territory. 2 high elves that I'm fighting, and some guy that's gravely injured, that's a obviously, you know, from the Talenthi clan and Eladrin, you know. I mean, maybe he's not, but the Eladrin's come from the Talenthi region. And I think it takes her back to being part of the war. She was a frontline medic. And so she's trying to help, you know, people on her side, Eladrins and, you know, half elves and all these people. She's trying to help these gravely injured people on the front lines, and then having these high elf folk, you know, come and like her basically having to fend these people off just to try and maybe get somebody, you know, stable enough. It's like I'm not going to fix whatever's wrong with you. I'm going to get you enough less broken to be able to bring you to somebody who could give you actual care, or at least hopefully you can lay here long enough until proper care comes. And so I think that she's just like, kind of that brain engages, and she's just like, is this all over again? Is this, I mean, this is the one thing I know what to do in this situation, is to try to save one of my own.
Dang, bro.
So 3rd level cure wounds, 3d8 plus 4.
Man, were you saving that?
What do you mean saving that?
You had that the whole fight?
Yeah.
Were you saving it to use it on Lucian?
No.
You just never used it on you?
I didn't use it on me.
All right.
I had hope. Maybe I
Heck
shouldn't
yeah.
have.
You can use it on you now, though.
Hold your horses.
I've made my decision.
No, hold your horses.
I'm behind their horse. I hold it. I made every vowel sound at once.
Lucian gains 19 hit points.
Ooh.
And then healing word is bonus action.
Okay.
So 3rd level healing word on myself.
Okay, good.
So that's 3d4 plus 4. 15.
Oh, snap, dude. We back in the game.
That's almost max freaking, like, healing.
I thought you were going to say it's her max HP, and I was going to be like, girl, what?
4, 4, and 3 is what I rolled. All right. Well.
Cool. So the moment you touch Lucian with your foot,
yeah.
As you kind of like press your foot down slightly, you feel him kind of moving past you. He makes no indication that he noticed that you moved at all. And the moment that you use, look, man,
cure wounds.
Well, I'll say this. This is a potion-based system.
Yeah.
He's moving next to you. You hear a familiar sound that it's familiar to you as a cleric. It is the sound of something sloshing around in some glass. And that piece of information makes contact with your brain as you pull this potion out of your pocket. The first one that you used. What was that again? Not healing.
Cure wounds.
Cure wounds. You pull it out of your pocket, ever so slightly. You have 1 HP. You're not feeling good. And you pull it kind of up towards him, kind of like weakly, barely fingers like wrapped around it. And as you do that, you hear a clinking sound. And when you hear that, both of you stop moving. And the figure next to you also stops moving. And you can see now, you're looking straight up and he's to your side. So in order to see him meaningfully, you would have to turn your head. We'll say he's on the side of your good eye.
Okay.
Make it easy. Yeah. So,
I think that she does that.
Cool. So you turn your head, and you lock eyes with this guy.
Yeah.
As he kind of like looks over you. He's kind of like near you. He was kind of like pulling himself up to a seated position when you heard that initial sloshy noise. And as you clink these two things together, you open your eyes kind of in surprise. What would that be? You see your own hand in the potion that you're expecting to see in it. What is the Cure Wounds potion look like?
I think that it's like, it looks gross because it's like medicinal. So it's like thick. It's kind of like, Pepto-Bismol, like that texture.
But no, we're for sure not doing
Yeah,
that.
we are.
It looks the Cure Wounds looks like Pepto.
No, it's that texture, like that thickness.
Okay, it's not like bubblegum flavor.
No, it's that thickness, but I think it's like a dark green because it's a bunch of like herbs and like roots ground together, like medicinal
it's like crap floating.
Yeah,
It's a suspension, lads. For those of you who do anabolic steroids, and you see that familiar potion. You know what you're doing, and you pull it out of your pocket, and you see, in it literally like 3 of his fingers are clasped around a potion. It is a potion that you have seen before. I don't think this is a potion that you know how to make.
What is it? I can tell you.
You've definitely seen it before because you are medic. I'm going to make you roll for it, though, but the DC is going to be 4.
All right. History?
Yeah, we'll do history with advantage. We'll make it 5. We'll do it with advantage.
I get a plus 12 to history.
What?
Yeah.
The only way...
22.
Yeah, it was like you would have to roll snake eyes in order to not get that. It is a potion of raised dead.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a potion of raised dead. It is glowing slightly. It is a light white blue. And as the potions kind of clink together, he stops moving. He looks at you, and that kind of glazed over look is back in his eyes. You can see like his cheeks are fully pink, and he is like struggling to breathe as he's over you. He stops moving, and like he's looking at your hands, and he's not like moving around or doing anything. Let's see if anybody notices what's going on. So as you kind of like both in this space, kind of not moving, you hear in the background some more. This has been going on basically the whole time of hearing just general like checking calls back and forth.
Yeah.
And you hear this conversation kind of going on in the background, and you hear it enters into your earshot, so they must be getting closer back to where you are.
Yeah.
And you hear part of a sentence, the moment Freeth gets to that pigeon, he'll be on his way here. The waypoint is far. And the other soldiers say, what's he going to do with him anyway? And the first one say, don't ask me. But the fact that he's doing it here in an unknown place like this, and this conversation is just getting louder.
Yeah.
Are you going to say anything or do anything?
I think that she sees that potion. What does it do? Because Shay doesn't know.
Yeah, Shay doesn't know. It restores someone to life with 1 hit point, even if they're dead. I think they have like 10 days or something like that.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's better than Revivify.
Yeah, it is a better spell. Yeah, your turn to dead, a creature you touch to life, provided that has been dead no longer than 10 days.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that she kind of like smiles weakly and just whispers out to him like, I ain't dead yet.
And he's going to kind of slip his potion back in his pocket. And he is going to take the one out of your hand and like grab it. He like gets his hand around it, and he's like not steady with it.
Yeah.
You know? And he's going to like pop the cork off and go to give it to you.
Okay. She like sews her mouth shut, like fully. She's just like, and she widens her eyes, and she's just like, I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about me.
I think he's gonna take it because this is magic and that's your desire. But I want you to give me a reason why Lucian would. Is there anything that you're doing, like even if you shook the other potion?
Yeah,
that you were
no,
gonna
literally,
take? Okay,
I think
cool.
that she says like, I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about me. And like, kind of like looks down, and there's another like potion in her hand, and she just smiles a little bit. And she's kind of like does that, and then looks back up at him, and then looks at him like, now's your turn, you know.
And he's gonna take the potion and just fully down it, like fully down the whole thing. And the moment you see him drink it, the voices that you've heard are continuing to talk, and they're walking back towards your position. You know that you can tell there's no, and this is like it for y'all. Like, this is this moment. And the moment that he takes the potion, you see just like his eyes just open up, like full wideness. Yeah. And the like warmth in his cheeks and face, like fully just like it dissipates a lot. Yeah. And as he was kind of like hunched next to you, he was shaking and like struggling to breathe. Yeah. And you can hear him kind of like catch his breath a little bit. He's just and kind of like revive himself for, what was it, 21 or something like. Well, now he's at 21. I think you said 17.
It was 19.
He was 19. So he was at 2 HP beforehand. So and he's gonna with a still weak grip and still shaking, he's gonna take the potion from you and pop the cork off and drain it into your mouth like as quickly as he just drinks the whole thing. It feels great and leaves you there to die. And he like drains it into your mouth. Cool. So what does that feel like for you?
You know, like that feeling when you're so thirsty and then you finally get like a nice, like when you wake up at 3 a.m. and you grab that water on the side.
Oh, it tastes like dust, but I need so that. Good. It's so good.
I think it's exactly like that. Like, Iferson hasn't had to use these potions in a long time, and so they've just been sitting. So it is very like, is stale tasting and awful, but oh my god, like this is amazing, you know.
So that like fills your body. What are you at now, or what did you
16.
get back? You're at 16. Okay, so you kind of like Lucian's not looking at you anymore. He's looking at nothing. He's just like experiencing 21 hit points and like reveling in the way that feels. As you do that and you hear these soldiers return to the kind of general middle room, you hear something outside.
Okay.
And it's a sound that you're relatively familiar with, having spent a long time in Waypoint Town. It is a sound of carriage.
Okay.
You hear a horse clippy-clopping, and you hear wheels making their way across cobblestone. And you hear these two soldiers whose voices were getting progressively louder as they neared your position say to each other, one of them says, "Do you hear that? That could be him. Let's go." And you hear them running towards the front door, which is past where you are.
Okay.
So they're focused on something else. You're still lying on the ground. Lucian is next to you, but in between them and that piece of information is general sort of warehouse debris and other sundry objects. And also they're relatively distracted with moving in a direction. They see you.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a pole, and they're not looking where you died. Where would you have gone? Where would anyone have gone?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to roll 2 disadvantage perception checks to see if they notice that something is amiss.
Okay.
And the DC is going to be, make it 12.
Okay.
You hear just running like next to your body. you hear one just fully make it past you.
Yeah.
Running out the door. And you hear foot still running in the same direction. And then all of a sudden go, wait a moment. And the other one is still running. He turns. You can kind of see him just in the same way that he can kind of see you. And you hear him kind of run closer to your direction than the other one, because you can fully hear the other one making his way away.
Yeah.
And as the first one leaves the front door, you hear him go, wait, wait, even closer than he was before.
Yeah.
And he goes over to your kind of area. And are you, like, still playing dead type situation?
Yeah, I'm gonna see how it plays out.
Okay. Are you looking, though?
Yeah, my eyes are open.
Yeah, so you're still looking that direction. So as he walks over, because you're lying on the ground and you're kind of, like, locked into a very specific viewpoint, I'm going to say, because you turned your head to communicate with Lucian,
Yeah.
he is going to... You're looking more in his direction.
Yeah.
And Lucian absolutely has no recourse. He is on his hands and knees on the ground, far away from where he was before. And the guy is going to walk over there. You see him kind of approach, like doing one of these around the stuff, and he walks over, and then he goes, how on earth did this happen? And he's going to just come over, and he's going to, like, put his, like, kind of hands on Lucian, who's literally, like, not even really paying attention.
Yeah.
He's just, like, you could see him just, like, fully just, like, I feel great, you know, relative to before. And he's going to, like, take his hand and grab the back of Lucian's hair, and he's going to pull his head back and say, I don't know how you have so much fight left in you, but perhaps it's good that you do. You can see, like, you saw... Make an insight check. That's your good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That one.
Alrighty. Well, you've been a little busy being hurt a lot. So you were really focused on number one at the moment, and so this guy is clearly, obviously, he has to be feeling better legally or required. But you kind of like there you feel kind of in your stomach this pit of dread that's just like, okay, what is this guy just got messed up by I have no idea the nature of his personality. Mm-hmm. If he starts fighting this guy, we're in a fight and I'm on the ground. Yeah. Like, that occurs to you extremely strongly. Yeah. So there's that. And he takes his hand, pulls, grabs a handful of Lucian's hair, this guy's hair, and is going to grab him underneath the arms, kind of like by the front of his chest. Yeah. And he's just going to start hauling him back towards the pole where he was. Okay. And to your... you don't see really Lucian making any moves at all to stop him. Okay. In this exact moment. So, like, right now, all that has happened is he's got his hand in his hair and he's like pulling his head back in case he does anything. And when he does that, you can see Lucian's eyes, they were for sure open, kind of shut a little bit. And he, like, was supporting his own weight, and then when his arm kind of snaked around his chest, he fully became dead weight. Okay. And he's just now, like, about to start, he's, like, just started walking him back towards the pole. Okay. Roll one last perception check.
11.
Right before Lucian pulled his head back, he gave you an extremely meaningful look.
Do I have any idea at all what it could possibly be?
It seems like he was obviously not doing so hot. Mm-hmm. He was doing slightly more hot. And then all of a sudden, once again, he's not doing so hot.
All right. She's gonna leave it be.
Cool. So, and you kind of hear him making the general noises of guy who is goofed up. Like as he pulls it back, he's like, oh, and then you hear the soldier just like generally taunting him and being like, I don't want to mess you up too much more. There won't be anything left for you when the major gets here. And you hear the unfurling of a rope, and you hear like tying, and Lucian is like wincing as he like ties him, and you hear like the sound of the rope like creaking as he ties it tighter. He's like, I think that will hold you this time. And then he like gets up and he just like takes off in the direction of the front door.
Are both of the guys gone?
You're gonna get up and look?
I think that she's kind of listening. And
you don't hear anybody. Taught you. The last thing that you heard as he ran away was the opening of a door.
Okay. I think
you do not hear it shut.
Okay. She's gonna very slowly try and
like turn her head to look.
Yeah, to see. You
can see the absolute very back of one of their, like, the edge of their body, like, peeking, the back of them peeking out of this door.
How far away is Lucian from her now?
God bless America.
How many exact inches and centimeters away is he from?
You're split the difference. You're 15 feet.
Okay, that's fine. I think that she's gonna move her head back into the original position that it was in, and just very quietly say, "What's your name?"
Lucian.
I'm Iferson.
And that's where we're gonna end this episode.
Oh my god,
dude,
man.
You almost died for real.
For realsies.
For real. I would have let you die. And
I know you would have.
Revivified you. Well, see you in the next episode.
God, this is hell.
Yep.